Yo! What's up, guys? Fears, audience, fears. Welcome to the Fears Podcast. Here we are, another day, another stream, another adventure, my friends. Boy, do I have a lot to talk about today. Oh, my Lord. Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Good things, bad things, interesting things, hilarious things. All interesting things, though. Anyway, let's open up the chat. Here we go. Hope everybody's been having a good day. Yo, Chicken Wizard. And Chicken Wizard says, "Hey, buddy, I'm listening to you while I work." You know that old song, "Just whistle while you work"? No. That's the old version. It's "Just watch Fears while I work, and hopefully my boss doesn't catch me watching my favorite YouTuber, and I get in trouble." That's right. Yo, Walter. Yo, Visions. What's up? 3 of my favorite people. What's going on? Visions. Lord Visions made this. So that's Visions' work. Right there. And then there's Randall's work. I love it. I hadn't used the Fears Vlogs mug in quite a while. I thought I would give it a go. Chicken Wizard, how is work going? How's things been going? By the way, I got my new Disney shirt on that I got at Goodwill. I don't know if it's a Thanksgiving shirt design, like it says thankful. I don't know if they're trying to say like, if you're a Disney fan, be always thankful, because they do make holiday shirts. You know, I got that. You know, when I went for my birthday, I got that Halloween Disney shirt, and then I bought the Hawaiian Christmas shirt, the green one with all the little red stockings and Mickey on it. So it could be a Thanksgiving Disney shirt, but Fears is thankful for his life any time of the day, every moment, every second. So let's just say I'm going to use it for that. So what's up? I hope everybody's been having a good day. I'll be honest, I was tired after work. Kind of had a medium day, but I've been getting extra hours. Normally I get off at around 8 or 9. I got off at 10 again. So I got an extra hour in, but pretty much I slept all day, went out for a little lunch. I got some Chipotle for lunch, and then I was going to do a nerd haul, but I was like, you know what, Fears, you've got so many fucking movies. Why don't we just chill on the nerd hauls for a little while, you know? I think what I'm going to do is I think the next convention, instead of doing like little mini hauls here and there, I may just go fucking buck wild and just like buy $100 worth of shit at the convention, you know, because normally when I go at the convention, I just get a little something here and I get a little something there, you know, but I haven't bought like a big epic nerd piece in quite a while. Maybe when I go to Disney this week, I'm thinking about maybe, I mean, they're not cheap. Whew. If I do buy something, it's going to be one something, because the last time I went, we all know what happened. I'm like, oh, hey, guys, casually and randomly, Fear spent $275, and I was like, no! I don't want to do that again, because that could have been $200 worth of paying bills and gas and food and laundry detergent and everything else that I need to survive. But I hadn't treated myself in quite a while, so I was like, all right. I'm like, the headpiece to the staff of Ra is coming home with me. I know they sell other Indiana Jones props, so if I get another one sometime this week, I'm going to probably buy the Shankara stone. I don't know about getting all 3 Shankara stones, because there's 3 Shankara stones in Temple of Doom. I may just get one for the time being. I may just buy one, and there we are. So, anyway, lots to talk about. The big topic of the night is Joey did, in fact, show up today. I'm not lying. I'm not kidding. He showed up around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and we had a long talk, and it was a very nice talk. But I'll definitely get into it. So I'm not trolling. I'm not lying. This actually happened. I know people's gonna have questions. Don't worry, I will respond to anyone's question because I'm sure people are curious. But yeah, so that's the first topic. The second topic is you guys know my friend Sean at work. He goes on and on sometimes, and he's like, Fears, I've been watching the streams, and he goes, sometimes you use my suggestions and sometimes you don't. And I was like, that is complete bullshit. I said, every time you've got a good suggestion, I use it. And he's like, well, maybe I've missed a few. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if you don't watch all the time, Sean, I keep the streams going. I'm like, so you gotta keep watching, you know? So I said, I do try to use your suggestion. So his suggestion last night was like, Fierce, have you ever covered like the dumbest ways you've ever gotten hurt? I said, what? Physically hurt or emotionally hurt? He's like, any way you got hurt. I was like, yeah, I could probably do that. So yeah. And then we're going to do the top 10 of my favorite smells in the entire world. Favorite smells. I thought that would be a good... I haven't done that one. So anyway, we'll definitely get into it. But how's everyone's day been? Visions, how's the day? Walter, how's the day? Chicken Wizard, how's the day? Garth Brooks, how's the day been? Garth Brooks, I have not checked the fan mail. I've got to check it. I forgot to check it today. I apologize. I was just so tired after work. I pretty much slept a lot. I only went out for two things. I went out for lunch, and then I had to go to the store and get like one little errand, take care of one little errand, and then I was back. And you know how I said I was gonna watch Get Smart next? I put Get Smart on hold because I just finished watching the entire 12 seasons of The Big Bang over because I hadn't watched it in a while. So I have not opened the case yet. My mom, last Christmas, just this past Christmas, said, what do you want? And one of the Blu-rays I asked her to get for me was, Mom, if you get me Star Trek, the original 60s show, I said, I'm going to give Randall my DVD version of it. And so I just started watching today. So I'm going to put Get Smart on hold. And because on the Blu-ray, she said, was there a lot of bonus features on your DVD? I said, no. I said, maybe slim to none. There was a few. She goes, there's a crap load of bonus features on this. And I was like, oh, yeah? And you guys know I love bonus features. So I said, well, I'll switch. So I'm going to watch, because the original series only had 3 seasons, and then it got canceled. So, and then it started to get popular again whenever they made the 1970s Star Trek movie, and then so on and so forth. But I'm going to continue watching this. So this is the next big TV show that I'll watch. And once I get done with all 3 seasons, of course I'll review it. But so far I'm on episode 2. Because I fell asleep during episode 2. And then while I was taking a nap, that's when I got a knock at my door. And it was Joey and his girlfriend. So him and his girlfriend showed up. And surprisingly, it was a good conversation. So, yeah. And Joey, I guess him and his girlfriend went to Disney World, and I don't know if he bought this pin and he was going to keep it himself, but he gave me this pin as kind of like a peace offering. So, I don't know if he bought it and said, I may keep it, or I don't know if he bought it while him and his girlfriend was at Galaxy's Edge and said, hey, I'm going to get this for Fears. I should have asked him. So, yeah. But anyway, everything will all make sense once I tell you guys the entire story. So, I'm going to catch up with the comments, and then I guess we'll get into it. So, yeah. Walter says, what's up, guys? How was everyone's day so far? I hope everyone's good. Let's see here. Like, besides being tired, I'm telling you, those night shifts, man, they kill me sometimes. Fucking hell. Oh, crazy. I'll be honest, the factory's getting a little old. You know, I cannot wait. I hope to God that airline calls me back. I want that job so bad, man. let's say I don't get it. You can always try again. So if I don't get it again, I can always try again. But I got to come up. I don't want to work at that factory the rest of my life. It's mind-numbing. Mind-numbing. But anyway, let me catch up with the chat. Let's see. Top 10 new smells, new tennis balls is up there for sure. Oh, what? One of your smells? I don't know. It's been a while since I played tennis, Garth Brooks, so I'll be honest, I don't even remember the smell of it. I'm sure it's a nice smell. How much is it to get a lightsaber? Oh, they're expensive. I mean, they're not like astronomically expensive, but you're going to spend at least somewhere between $130 to $200. The next time I go to Galaxy's Edge, I need to ask them, because I got the Kyber crystal, and I actually showed Joey the movie props, and he liked the movie props. I gave him a tour, and he actually sat in the comfy couch. He actually sat on the floor, and his girlfriend took a picture and said, "Look, I'm Fears. I'm streaming." And he said, "Fears, I got to ask you." He goes, "What is up with that stain on the floor?" I said, "Everybody thinks Fears like crapped his pants, all the trolls." I'm like, it's not. It's because of the dye. The dye in these shorts. I've been sitting there for years. And I said, the carpet went flat. Like, there's a hole. Not a hole in the carpet, but there's about to be a hole in the carpet. I need to talk to my landlord and have them rip up this old carpet and put new carpet in at some point. Because he's like, oh, what? He's like, what? Because you sat there so long, Fears? I said, yeah. I said, I've sat there for years. I guarantee you, if I sit here long enough in this spot, the same thing over here will happen to what happened over there. He said, oh, I guess because you've sat there for years, like the dye in your shorts. I said, yeah, it's left a stain. I said, I've cleaned that spot. I said, I would never crap my pants. I said, if I did crap my pants, I would do it off camera. I wouldn't do it on camera. And he's like, well, that makes sense, Fears. And his girlfriend was like, yeah, if you sit there long enough. She was, and she even said, is it the dye out of your pants? And I looked at her and said, I don't know. I said, I just sit there for years doing my streams. And I said, so something's happened. I said, one day I got up and I was cleaning up after the stream, and I looked down and I saw that stain. I was like, oh shit, I guess I sat there way too long. And I've tried to clean it. I've washed it. I've vacuumed. So I guess it's stuck there for forever now, you know. And Crackpot or one of the other idiot guys was like, oh, Fear shit himself. I was like, no, not really. So, but you know how they are. Anyway, let me continue on. Let's see here. But yeah, to answer your question, Garth, they are a lot of money. You're going to spend anywhere from $100 to $200, if not more, depending on what lightsaber. It's all good, man. Do it when you can. It's just a letter. Yeah, I'll get to it. I just... usually, I told Joey this because he asked, when I work and all that. He's like, sometimes, he said, you look tired sometimes. I'm like, I am. I'm like, that's why my apartment, I said, is not the cleanest. He said, oh, he goes, it's a nice apartment. I said, well, excuse the mess. I said, there's two reasons why it's a little messy. I said, one, I've been lazy and I haven't cleaned a lot. I said, two, I'm still getting over my grandma's death and my dad's death, and I don't care about a lot of stuff right now. And he's like, that's understandable, Fears. And I said, yeah. So, anyway. Yo, Larry, what's up? He says, what's up, Walter, Larry, Chicken Wizard? Doing good, just around, just waiting around for emails and wasting time. Oh, a lot of orders, Visions. Visions hasn't been insanely amount of orders. I know sometimes you get, like, busy weeks and then little weeks, but, I'm sure it can get intense. By the way, Chicken Wizard, I hope you don't mind me saying this. I promised Chicken Wizard I would not say his real name. But, you know how I've met Chicken Wizard in real life? I hope you don't mind me saying this, Chicken Wizard. If you do have a problem, write real quick in the chat and say, don't tell him, Fears. But I'm going to say something unless I see something in the chat. But I got a message from Chicken Wizard today, and he said, hey, Fears, guess what? And I was like, what's up, man? And he's like, when you come into town, he's like, I added you on Facebook. And I was like, oh, sweet, man. So now I got Chicken Wizard on Facebook, because I'm telling you, Chicken Wizard, the next time I come into town, Man, it was so much fun hanging out with you at the Toy Man show, my friend Chris's Toy Man show. That he's been doing it since the '80s. Well, his dad ran it, and then after his dad died, then he gave it to my friend Chris. And I was like, dude, Chris, your dad's fucking awesome. And he's like, Fears, you know how much you love your dad? And I said, yeah. And he's like, I loved my dad just as much. I was like, yeah, but I'm like, I know for a fact my dad would not go to a toy convention or Comic-Con. That just wasn't his thing. And I said, my dad is cool, but I said, your dad's pretty cool for like making up his own convention. And he was like, oh yeah. And he goes, he had it in my will. And he goes, my dad gave it to me. And I was like, that's pretty fucking awesome, man. I said, you got your own, like, toy con. And I said, Chris, I said, don't lie. I said, you buy shit from your toy man, too. He was like, oh, yeah, Fears. He's like, I go up and check the vendors just as much as you do. And I was like, that's pretty fucking cool, man. Anyway, so yeah, now I got Chicken Wizard on Facebook so we can keep in contact. Chicken Wizard, we're definitely hanging out the next time I come into town. So, yeah. We're getting to it, Visions. We'll get to this Joey business. We will. What's up, Exhumed Visions? Are you joking with this? I'm not joking. I would not joke about something like this. Joey did show up. Surprisingly, it was a good experience. I think Joey's grown up a little bit, and so have I. But it'll make sense once I tell the whole story. So yeah. Tinder Immortal said, "Did Joey's girlfriend come to scrape him off the floor after you beat the skunk out of him?" Well. No, Tinder Immortal. I was like, this could go either two ways. Either I can get mad and just deck him one in the face. I said, or I can be mature and actually talk to him and hear him out. And I opted for the other, and actually invited him in and actually talked to him and heard him out. So, but let me explain the whole story. And I'm not lying. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what happened blow for blow. But surprisingly, it was a good experience. So, yeah. No, I didn't kick his ass, Larry. I thought about it, but I didn't. But, yeah. Let's see. I thought it was fart residue, to be honest. You would think, right? Visions? Because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when Fears has done a show, I've either held in a fart or I've farted. So I have farted in that spot. But they were all the trolls were like, oh, Fears shit his pants. I'm like, that's never happened, not once. Never. The only time I've ever crapped my pants, and I've told you guys this story, it happened in Missouri. I was on my way to a job interview, and I went into the building, and for some reason, I don't know why, this building was so weird. They only had bathrooms on the 7th floor. I said, why don't you have a bathroom in the lobby on the ground floor? And they said, we just don't. And I was like, okay. And it's when I worked for that Securitas place, the other security company that I worked for, before I worked at another security place when I moved out here. And then I got a better job at FedEx. So I had to go to the bathroom, and I raced to the 7th floor, and I got to the bathroom, but right as I opened up the bathroom door, I felt it coming. I just grabbed on to the side of the bathroom, and then it wasn't much. It wasn't like Fears had like diarrhea, but I just felt a couple of turds popped out, and I was like, oh, well, that sucks. And I just went into the bathroom. I cleaned up as much as I could, and then I remember I walked out and said, can I reschedule my interview? And she's like, well, why? It's in a couple of minutes. And I said, look, I said, I don't want to tell you what happened. I said, I need to go home for personal reasons. I said, I promise to God I'll be back for the interview. I said, can't you just push my interview like later on in the day around 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock? Because I showed up around 12. And she's like, well, I need to know the reason why. I said, well, I don't want to tell you. It's embarrassing. I said, this is the first time and the only time it's ever happened in my life. And she's like, oh, you don't have to tell me. And she goes, I think I know what happened. She goes, I'm piecing all of it together. I said, yeah. I don't have to explain, do I? I said, I already told you I had to use the restroom. I raced up to the 7th floor. Now I have to leave and come back. I said, you're a smart woman. I'm sure you can figure it out. She goes, yeah, I understand. You don't have to tell me. She goes, I won't say anything. I said, please tell them I'll be back. And she goes, how about, can you come back at 3:45? I said, that's fine. I said, I'll be back. I just went home, and that's when I was still living with my mom and my dad in the mansion. And my mom and dad were like, why are you back? And I said, I had an accident. And they were like, oh, don't feel bad, John. It happens to the best of us. I said, it's never happened to me. And she's like, well, this is the first time it happened. And I said, well, there you go. So I just quickly took a shower and I changed, and then I went right back and I ended up getting the job. So that's the only time it's happened, Visions. So yeah. Yo, Richie, what's up? Richie, I hope you're getting less and less. Yesterday, I don't know why, but they were giving you a lot of shit yesterday. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Not a lot of my fans were giving you shit, but I heard from my fans that all these other idiots were giving you a bunch of shit, and I was like, well, I don't know for what, and I'm like, well, it's none of my business, and I was kind of curious why they were going nuts on you, and I was like, well, I don't want to get involved because I get enough shit, and I'm like, I'm sure Larry, I'm not Larry, I said, I'm sure Richie will tell me in his own time, but whatever it is, man, I'm sorry for whatever shit they were making you go through or whatever, you know. So, yeah. No, Larry, he didn't swing on me. Let's see. Vision says, just a couple of turds, not too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I was like, I'm not going into that interview with a bunch of little turd nuggets like in my underwear, so it was bad. All right, so let's get to the main event. So I was taking a nap, so I'm going to, what's up, Red Robin? I'm going to explain it blow by blow. So I was taking a nap because I fell asleep while I was watching some Star Trek. Joey actually liked Star Trek. When he came in, he was like, oh, you're watching Star Trek. I was like, yep. I paused it, so I hear a knock at the door, and I'll be honest, I was a little immature right off the bat. I looked through the people, and I didn't recognize him at first, and I opened the door, and he said, oh, hey, Fears, it's Joey, and he stuck his hand out, and I said, oh, the hell with this, and I closed the door. And I was about to go and grab my phone and call the cops, you know. So as I'm walking, Joey said, oh, come on, Fears, hear me out, open the door. So I thought, and so I paused, and I said, well, what should I do? I said, this can go either two ways. I said, if I don't open the door, I said, he may tell people, oh, Fears is a pussy, he didn't face me like a man. I said, if I do face him like a man, I may end up punching him, you know. And I said, well, I don't want any more drama, so I said, Fears, just be as mature as possible. Be the bigger man. Show your maturity. So I opened the door and I said, what do you want? I said, what do you want, Joey? And he said, well, I told you I would show up. And I thought for a second his girlfriend was filming. She wasn't. He's standing here. She's in the back and she's got her phone like this. And I said, who is she? And then he said, well, that's my girlfriend. I said, is she filming? And he goes, no. I said, well, she's got her phone like that. And then he goes, no, I promise. He goes, she's not filming. And then she said, I'm just checking my phone. And I went, oh, okay. And so he said, I told you I'd come by. And I was a little thrown back because, if I'm being honest, I never thought in a million years, not just Joey, I never thought in a million years none of them would ever show up, ever. So, we're talking, I said, well, in my mind, I was like, invite him in, Fears, you know, hear him out, you know. So I said, do you want to come in? And he said, can I? And I said, sure. So at first it was kind of awkward. So I let him in, and he's like, oh, wow. He goes, this is a nice place. He goes, this is the Fears pad. I said, yeah, this is it. And I offered them a drink, and we sat down, and I said, listen. So I said, I've got a couple of questions. I said, do you mind? He said, oh, no. I said, one, I'm a little taken back. I said, I never expected you to show up at all. And he said, I told you I would. And I said, well, I didn't think you'd actually show up. And to be honest, I told Walter and I told Visions what happened. And I said, I'll be honest. I said, it is a little weird that you showed up. I said, but then in my mind, I was like, well, I guess I had it coming Because I was like, you'll never show up. You're such a pussy. I dare you to show up. I'm not afraid of any of those guys, you know? So, but then I was like, when he said, oh, I told you I'd show up, I said, well, I guess I had it coming because I did say, oh, I dare you to show up. You'll never show up. You'll never show up. And all of a sudden, here he was. So I was a little mad and a little weirded out that he did show up. But because it ended nicely, I said, I'm glad you showed up so we can put this shit all behind us, you know, and be mature adults. So we sat down, and I didn't ask him a lot of questions, but I asked him a big question. So I said, hey, do you want anything to drink? And his girlfriend got a water, and he said, what do you have? I said, I've got water, juice, Powerade. He said, oh, I'll take a Powerade. I grabbed one. We sat down at the kitchen table over there, and I said, the big thing was, I want to know why you trolled me all these years. I said, there had to have been a reason. And he said, Fears, I'll be honest. He goes, I have nothing against you. He goes, I troll my friends all the time. I said, do you even watch mine? He goes, Fears, I've watched everything. He goes, I'm a big fan. He goes, even though you have me blocked on everything, he goes, I watch all your streams. He said he was going to watch, him and his girlfriend are driving back to Iowa tonight. He said, I'll watch your stream whenever we're driving back home. And I said, okay. I said, well, you're more than welcome. And I asked him, do you mind if I tell the fans what happened? He goes, yeah. He goes, I've got nothing to hide. Tell them. And I went, okay. So he said, I never had anything against you. He goes, I always troll my friends. And I said, yeah, man. But I said, I'll be honest. I said, there's a difference between trolling and joking around. I said, you said some really hurtful and painful things. And I said, I'm not afraid to say it. I said, you and some of those other trolls have made me cry before. I said, I'm not even kidding. I said, I'm man enough to say it. And I said, don't you feel any regrets or remorse of what you put me through? And he said, I'll be honest. He goes, I don't regret trolling you because I was joking around. He goes, but I think I got a little... I can't remember exactly what he said, but because this was a while ago, he said, basically, the only thing I regret was making fun of your family. And I said, yeah, that's fucked up. So he said, I do regret making fun of your grandmother that passed away and your dad. He goes, because I know that's a sensitive subject for you. And I said, it is. I said, anyone that loses a parent and a grandmother, I said, especially them, because I was so close to my dad and my grandma. Like, I was my grandma Fears' favorite. You know, she never said it to the other grandkids, but I know I was, you know. And so he said, I do regret that. And I said, I would like an apology. And he said, I'm sorry. And he put out his hand, because I didn't shake his hand right away at the door. So I shook his hand, and I said, listen, man, I said, I do appreciate the apology. I said, I said, I'm a little weirded out that you're here. And I said, I'm a little taken back. I didn't think you'd honestly ever show up. And I said, if you're willing to forget the past, so am I. And I said, because you came here like a man and apologized, that's probably the only reason why I would give you a chance. Like, and I give him credit for coming and apologizing, because I doubt Adam Pacitti or Quentin or Carl the Fan or none of those other idiots would ever do that, you know? And plus, Joey even pointed out, he goes, if you've noticed, Fears, he goes, I haven't trolled you in a while. He goes, because LC blocked me out of that. And he said, even if I wanted to come in, I couldn't, because whenever you get blocked out of a Discord, it blocks your IP address. So he said, I haven't been in there in months. And I said, well, couldn't you just make a new account? He goes, yeah, I guess I could. He goes, but I can't do it from my home now because my IP is blocked. And so he said, whenever I go outside somewhere, that's the only time I can come in. He goes, but usually when I'm out and about, I forget to go in. And so usually I don't go in when I'm out and about. And I said, oh, okay. So there was that. And I introduced myself to his girlfriend. I said, what's your name? And she said, my name's Tatiana. Hopefully that's how you pronounce her name. And I said, oh, I said, well, it's very nice to meet you because I have nothing against her. Why would I have something against her? She didn't do anything to me. So I was a gentleman, and I said, oh, very nice to meet you. And I shook her hand, and I said, how long have you guys been together? And she said, oh, 2 years. And I said, oh, okay. I said, well, that's great. And I said, congrats. And I was very nice. You know, I thought I was going to be really mad, but when I opened the door the second time, I said, be the bigger man fears, be mature. You know, I said, plus, I said, if I just attack somebody, I said, what will Joey do? I said, will he stick up for himself? Will he call the police? And I said, I don't really feel like spending a night in jail. I know I've said in the past, oh man, it would be worth it. It would be worth it. It probably wouldn't be worth it. I've been trying to work on myself as a person. Like, I've been trying to think before I act, think before I say. And I could tell that Joey has grown up a little bit. I've grown up a little bit. He used to be super mature. He seemed like a very nice, mature guy. Kind of quiet, on the quiet side. Like, he did talk, but not a lot. Probably because he didn't think that I would ever confront him. But he knew what he was getting into because he came. So he knew probably, hey, I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. So he did apologize, and I said, well, I appreciate your apology. And I did say this. I said, it may take some time to forgive you fully, man. And when I talked to Walter, Walter was like, well, Fears, you know, he'll probably be on thin ice for a little while. So he's like, don't completely let your guard down. And I said, oh, absolutely. I said, absolutely. So I do forgive him partially. I said, but I did look at him and say, it's probably going to take me a while to fully forgive you. And he said, well, that makes sense. I understand that. He goes, I just wanted to say that I am sorry for giving you all this shit all these years. And he did admit that making fun of my family was way over the line. And I asked him, please don't troll me anymore. And he said, well, he goes, I'll be honest, Fears. He goes, I'm not going to lie to you. He goes, whenever I do come back in, he goes, I'll try my best not to troll you. But he guaranteed me, he goes, I guarantee you I won't troll you about your family anymore. And I said, I appreciate that. And I said, I met him halfway. I said, yeah, I said, if you want to say whatever you want to me, and I know that you're joking around, that I don't care about. When people say disgusting, evil, vile things about my family, that hurts a lot. And I told him, I'm just like everybody else, dude. I'm a human being. I have feelings. And I have strong feelings like everybody does about their family, you know. And so he didn't say much. I did a lot of the talking because I'll be honest, I didn't have a lot of questions. I just had a couple. I said, do you regret anything? And that's when he said, I regret making fun of your family. But he said, honestly, all the other trolling stuff, he goes, it's not you, Fears. I troll Quentin, I troll that guy, he goes, that's just how I am. He goes, you know how you say you have visions and Randy have dark humor? I have dark humor too. I said, yeah, but I said, making fun of someone's family is not funny. I said, that's where you should draw the line. And he said, oh, well, I know that now. Or I can't. He said something like that, like, oh, well, I agree. And I said, you should have never done that, you know? And he did point out, he said, also, man, he goes, before you continue on, he goes, I want to let you know something right here, right now. He goes, you can believe me. He goes, you don't have to believe me. He goes, I swear that was not me that did all that crazy shit on your grandma's obituary. And I looked at him right dead in the face, and he seemed genuine. He seemed sincere. He said, I wouldn't do that. So, and I believe him. And I believe him. When I told Walter in Visions, Walter said, Fears, I know you. He goes, I know Joey isn't like your favorite person in the world. He goes, but he goes, did he seem sincere? And I said, yeah. He goes, I believe him. He goes, I don't think it was Joey. And I said, well, I said, I believe him too. So whoever did that, shame on you for doing that to someone's, you know, grandma's obituary. That's probably the most disgusting thing ever a troll's ever done to me. And you know what? I don't even want to know who it was, because that person's going to have to live with that for the rest of their life. And Walter, yeah, I was going to get to that, Walter. Walter said it's definitely, he goes, Walter, I can't remember how you pronounced it, but you said something like, that puts a little, Walter said, that puts a little bit more faith into humanity. Or you said something like that. He goes, that's progress on both sides. And I agreed with Walter. So once we got past that, I asked Joey, I said, do you still watch? And he said, he goes, I don't miss anything, Fears. And I said, what's your favorite video? He did tell me his favorite video, but I don't remember which one he said was his favorite. It probably was Visions, that weirdo on TikTok. I still don't know. That guy still messages me, but I've only responded to that guy once, and whenever I responded to him, he got me in trouble, and I was banned from YouTube for like I couldn't make any videos for a couple of weeks. So now I don't respond to that hater on TikTok at all, because that's what he wants. He wants a reaction. So I always just, anytime he sends me like a hate comment, I always report it to TikTok, and I always block every single, because that guy's relentless. Like, that guy's even more relentless than Quentin. Like, every time I block a channel of his on TikTok, he just makes another one. And they're real vile TikTok names, like, I'm glad Fears' parents are dead. Fears will burn in hell. Fears needs to cut off his own nuts with some scissors. Like, crazy shit for titles on TikTok. And I'm like, there is something mentally disturbed with this guy on TikTok, you know. So I know that's not Joey, because he seemed really sincere. What's up, Pixel? I'm going to get to everyone's comments. I just want to tell the whole story. So, and I'm trying to remember as much of it as I can, because it was a lot of emotions, because I didn't expect him. Because Walter even said Fears was a little weird that he showed up. And I said, yeah, I said, it's very weird. I said, what do you think, Walter? He goes, Fears, I'm going to be honest. He goes, it is really weird that he showed up. I said, yeah, it was. I said, it was kind of weird, because I would just never show up at someone's door, you know. And then Walter was like, how the fuck did he find your address anyway? I said, I don't know. And I even told that to Joey. I said, Joey, I said, probably some troll found it out and then gave it to you, and then that's how you showed up. But I said, Walter, I said, I've never said, hey, my address is this. But I looked at Walter, I looked at Joey, I said, even though those trolls are idiots, they're smart idiots. I said, it doesn't take a rocket science. They know I live in Florida. And then whenever I'm vlogging, I'm like, hey, I'm going to a show in Kissimmee. I'm going to a show in, Orlando. I said, all they need on the internet is my first and last name and either the exact city or a city near where I live. And I'm sure they can find out all that information. And Joey's like, that's probably how they found out, Fears. And I said, yeah. I said, every big YouTuber has to go through this shit. And he's like, yeah, true. He goes, I'm not going to, and I said, Joey, I don't even want to know who the person was that gave it to you. I said, I don't care. But I've never just blurted out, hey, my address is this, So, but that's how it was a little weird that he showed up, but I told him, I'm glad that you actually showed up so we could put this stupid bullshit behind us. And I was very mature about it. I didn't call him any names. He didn't call me any names. He seemed very genuine, very sincere. His girlfriend was very nice. She was very sweet. I shook her hand. I said, well, very nice to meet you. Her name's, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Tatiana. He was very respectful to me. I was very respectful to him. And it showed maturity on both sides. Because you guys know me. I'm a good guy. I don't want to fight with anyone. I really wish I didn't have to fight with Adam Bachidi. I really wish I didn't have to fight with Quentin. But some people make it impossible to get along on the internet. Some people are just going to hate. And I was kind of surprised at his answer. He said, sometimes I get bored, Fears. I troll my friends. That's how me and my friends interact. And I said, and he goes, it was fun. And I looked at him and said, I said, it was fun for you. I said, it was not fun for me at all. And I said, Joey, I said, I'm comfortable with my feelings to tell you this. I said, you may not know. I said, or maybe you do know. I said, a bunch of times, I mean, not a lot, but I said, you've made me cry Quentin's made me cry, Carl the Fan, and Adam, because they've said really painful, like mean shit. I mean, really mean. And I guess it sounds different when a person's saying it to you 2 inches from your face, you know, because I was sitting in the middle, his girlfriend, here, I'll show you. So I was sitting, so Joey sat here, I sat here, and his girlfriend sat right here. So I was talking to him on this side, and she was listening. She didn't say a lot because she didn't have to say a lot because she wasn't involved. You know, I mean, she commented on stuff here and there, but mainly it was just me and Joey talking. But I'll be honest, when I opened the second door, I had to be very reserved with my feelings because I thought about actually just like decking him one. I really did think it. But I was like, I don't know how he would react. I said, would he fight back? And I told Joey, I said, I am not afraid of you. I said, I don't care that you're here. I said, all of those idiots could show up. I wouldn't care, you know, because I'm not afraid of anyone, you know. So I said, Joey, I said, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of Yakov or Quentin or any of those guys. I said, I'm not afraid of any of them, you know. So it was a good conversation. And once I'm trying to remember everything before I forget. Hopefully I don't leave out any like key points because you guys know my memory is it was hard to remember a lot because there was a lot of emotions up in the air, you know. But I handled it pretty good. He handled it pretty good. And then he said, well, hey, he's like, can you show me around? So I showed him I gave him a whole tour, and he said, he did say you have a really nice place. And I said, hey, I'm sorry about the mess. And I told him why. I said, he said, yeah, he goes, Fears, you're usually, either I said it or he said it. Usually you're clean as a pin. And I said, I know. I said, it's bugging the shit out of me. I said, I just stopped caring about a lot of stuff since my grandma and my dad died. I said, I'm still having trouble handling their death. And I said, I'm trying to figure out how to process all that stuff, you know? So, he said, he's like, don't worry about the mess. He goes, we've seen worse. And then his girlfriend, Tatiana, said, I used to live with hoarders. And I said, oh, God. I said, I would never live with a hoarder. I said, I would probably kill myself before that. And she goes, oh, yeah. She goes, they were bad. And she's like, I couldn't wait to move out. Or she said something like that. And I was like, I would never put myself in that situation to live with a hoarder. I said, and I looked at Joey, and then I said, probably I'll clean it up after I get annoyed and can't stand all the crap everywhere. I said, I usually clean either once a week or twice a week. And I said, I've just been lazy. For about 2 weeks, I haven't done any laundry. Like one day I was just so lazy, I just went out and just bought new clothes, you know, and because I just don't care about a lot of stuff because I miss my grandma and my dad, like, a lot. Like, you guys have no idea how much. I'm sure you guys have an idea of how much I miss them, but you guys aren't here. You're not Fears, so you don't fully know how much I miss them, but I miss them a lot. So I showed him around, and he said, where's all your steel book collection? I said, well, some is here, and I said some are already on the shelf, and then I thought it was funny. He did sit in my spot, and his girlfriend took a photo, and I'm like, this is kind of weird, but I'm like, all right, go ahead, you know. Walter, I'm not even kidding. He sat in the Fears man spot over there. I was like, well, that just shows you how big of a fan he is, even though he trolled for many, many years. I'm like, well, if you want to sit in the spot, hey, go for it. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I was half and half. Half of me was like, this is cool, and I'm glad that we're making progress and we're being mature adults and we're hashing things out. But the other half, I was like, it's kind of weird that he's here, you know? That's me being honest. I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling whatsoever, you know? So, but I'm just glad that it all worked out. And then he said, hey, do you have any recommendations? And I did offer to go to dinner with them. I didn't know that they were going to have a date night because I asked them, I said, hey, what are you doing here in general? I said, I know It's not just for me, is it? I said, I hope not. You didn't drive all that way from Iowa just to say sorry to me. He goes, oh, no. He goes, that's part of the trip. He goes, really, we came out here to visit my cousin. And we hung out with them, and we went to Galaxy's Edge, and I asked him, I said, oh, did you like it? And he goes, oh, we loved it. And they showed me some pictures. Tatiana was like, here's me in my Mickey ears. He did buy a lightsaber. Joey bought a lightsaber, and he showed me it. He got a green lightsaber, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I'm like, that's awesome. I showed him the movie prop, and he thought the yellow crystal was cool, and he said, yeah, I saw that in the vlog, and I think he said his favorite video was the first time I went to Galaxy's Edge. I think he said that. I don't honestly remember, but... And I forgot to ask him what his favorite stream was. So, yeah. And then, I think I said something about the Carrie rolls, and we kind of laughed about that. I think, something like that. Showed him around the apartment, and he thought the apartment was cool, and he's like... and he did say, Will Fears, he goes, don't take this the wrong way, he goes, but you're actually taller in real life. I said, I know. I said, a lot of people say that, you know? He's like... He goes, yeah, that kind of threw me off, Fears. He goes, I thought you were going to be short. I said, you know why, Joey? I said, because all these idiots have made fun of my height ever since I've been on YouTube. And I said, I'm not a midget. Quentin calls me a midget all the time. I'm not. I said, 5'6" it's not tall, but it's not short. And he said, yeah, man. He goes, I'm really surprised. He goes, seeing you in real life. He goes, you're taller than I thought. Which was a compliment, and I said, I appreciate it. And I said, how tall are you? And he said, oh, I'm 6 foot. And I said, okay. I said, that makes sense, you know? And he did say, hey, sorry that you're going through all this stuff. I said, yeah. I said, I've just been trying to... I said, really, all I do is just go to work, and then I work on my content and my stream. I said, that's it. I said, I haven't cleaned in a while. I mean, there's not fucking, like... you know, stains everywhere in my apartment, but I said, it's been a while since I vacuumed, so there's, like, crumbs and stuff. I just kind of, everyone at one point has just kind of, like, gave up and said, oh, the hell with it, I don't care about anything. So, like, the last kind of, like, 3 or 4 weeks, I've just kind of been, I only clean when I have to, or when it annoys me, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to work and just do the shit I need to do to survive, because I don't really give a shit about anything right now, you know? So sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm not. So, let's see what else happened. I showed him around, and, oh, he did tell me that his favorite movie, or one of his favorite movies is Alien, and he said, are you going to review all the other ones? And I said, yeah. I said, in that, oh, where is it? Hang on. Right here. And he said, number 1 and number 2 are good, and he said, 1 is my favorite. Visions, he did tell me that he doesn't like Goonies. He said, I said, you don't like Goonies? What the hell, man? And he was like, I've just never gotten into Goonies. And I was like, fair enough. Fair enough. So, but I do appreciate, so I know Joey's watching. So, Joey, I can't remember if you bought this while you were at Galaxy's Edge and you were going to keep it for yourself, or if you actually, while you were there, thought of me and bought it for me. But he bought me this really cool, I guess, I'm assuming he felt bad, said, oh, well, I'll get Fears a gift when I come over, and so he bought me, I'm assuming he did, he got me this lightsaber pin, so that was pretty cool. So, I'm either going to put it on my backpack with all my other pins. No, probably not, because, Visions, you know how anal I am about the pins. I like the tiny circle ones, you know? But these are hard to pin through all that material on the backpack. So I've got a bunch of Disney pins way up in the rafters, so I may put it by my Disney pins. I really haven't decided, but I thought this was a very nice gesture, so thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. So I know people were expecting like oh, Battle of Wits and oh, you know, the Battle of the Century, but that's not really how it went down, you know. So if anyone was expecting like a big ass fight or something, I thought about it, but I was like, that's not mature, Fears. The mature thing is to hear somebody out and talk about it and come to a come to a understanding, like some things you can joke about, some things you can't joke about. I'm a real person. I have real feelings, and so I'm glad it ended on a better note. And I said, well, now that we've kind of reconciled, I said, do you want to keep in touch? I said, I'm willing to forgive and forget, man. And I have been trying, you know the old fears back in the day. Once you were on my villain list or my hate list or whatever you want to call it, kind of like, how Sheldon has a mortal enemy list. I never meant to have a list, but whenever Joey did all that shit, he was on it, and I never thought I would forgive him, never in a million billion years. But I thought it was very nice of him to apologize, So I'll be honest, I wish he would have regretted doing all the trolling, because I don't think he understood how much pain I went through. None of those trolls understand. Like, they've said some evil shit, and I don't care if they make fun of me for crying. It's the truth. Like, I'm a full-grown man, and I didn't want to cry, but when someone just keeps poking at you and saying evil shit, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So, and eventually, you get sick and tired of it, and a few times I've broke down. Not a lot, but a few times I've broke down, So, but it was nice to get some closure, because he's been trolling me for so long, and he said, whenever I do come back in, to the Discord, he said, I may still tease you here and there, but he gave me a solemn promise that he would never make fun of my family. And I said, I appreciate that. I said, I don't like it when people make fun of my friends and my family. So definitely, I agree with what Vision said and Walter. There's definitely personal growth there on both sides. Because I know for a fact when I first started streaming, I was still very immature, and I think over the years, you can still be a goofball like Fears is. I'm a big goofball. I like to have fun. I like to crack jokes. But then there's a time where you need to be serious. So I definitely think we both have made progress, So it ended quite nicely. And so so at the end I said, I don't know. I said, hey man, since we've kind of reconciled, I did let him know. I said, it's going to take me a while to fully forgive you, but I said, I do appreciate your apology. I accept your apology, and I do forgive you a little bit. And he said, I understand it may take some time to fully forgive me. And I've been working on myself as a person. I mean, everything. My job, letting things just float off my back, letting things go. Because you guys know, back in the day, it would take Fears forever to let things go. And I said, well, Fears, this is a great opportunity to learn how to forgive somebody. So I said, just do little stepping stones. And I think I handled it quite well. I'm sure all the haters are going to be like making up their own variations of what happened. But I'm telling you, this is honest to God what happened. And so before they left, I did offer to go to dinner. I didn't know they were going to have a date. And I said, hey, man. And he said, hey, do you have any recommendations? I said, I love going to that Friar Tuck's. And he's like, where's that? I said, right when you come into my apartment complex, there's a shopping plaza with tons of little businesses and stuff. I said, it's right there on the right-hand corner. I said, they've got a Chinese place on the left. And I said, they've got an Asian restaurant on the left, too. But I said, it's right there in that catty corner. And he's like, do they have good food? I said, yeah, I said, they have amazing food. I said, I've gone there tons of times. I said, I go there sometimes if I get lazy and don't want to cook. I said, I go there sometimes after Sunday church, And, he thought the Ghostbuster script and the Escape from New York I showed him my bedroom, and he's like, you got more stuff outside. I told him that too. I said, well, because I stream out here, this is kind of like my home and my nerd cave and my studio where I stream and shit. I said, I'm the only one in here, And he said, yeah, he's like, I can see that. I said, I do plan on putting more artwork and decorations and more nerd shit in my bedroom you know, when I said I put up a few things, and I showed him the other shelf of all my movies, and he liked that, and he said, "Oh yeah, Aliens is like one of my favorite movies." Showed him the closet with all the stickers, Visions. I showed him all the stickers that you gave me, and then all of a sudden he pointed at it. He goes, "Oh shit, there's Gothic King Cobra." And I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "I may not understand, Josh, but I said, Visions gave me the sticker, and I put it on there." I looked at him and said, "Hey, do you like Gothic King Cobra?" And Joey was like, "Yeah, he's all right." And I said, "Yeah," I said, "I just don't get it, you know." I said, the food and then the different concoctions and dumping, you know, fish eggs and mustard and barbecue sauce and eating a sandwich and then grilling it to death until it's charcoal black. I'm like, whatever floats your boat, but I'm like, I never would eat that shit, you know. So yeah, it ended, and so then towards the end, he said, "Do you have any recommendations?" And I recommended the Friar Tuck place, and I said, "Hey," I said, "if you want," I said, "I can put on my shoes, and I said, I can go to dinner with you." I said, "I haven't ate dinner yet." And he said, "Oh," he said, "I would, Fears." He said, "But," he said, "me and my girlfriend are going to try to get in, like, one more date before we have to drive back to..." I said, "Oh," I said, "I'm sorry." I said, I didn't know you guys were trying to do a date." And he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "I think it's just going to be me and her." I said, "Absolutely." I said, I don't want to intrude on your guys' date or whatever. But I said, you'll love the Friar Tuck. I said, they have amazing food. And I said, you'll really enjoy it. And I said, I took Larry there. I said, Larry loved it. So that's pretty much what happened. So I'm glad it went down, because if I would have hit him, that would have ended badly for me. Because, like, what if I did hit him? And Walter made a good point. He goes, "Fears, what if you actually did hit him?" He goes, and he did call the police. He goes, "Then you would go to jail. You may lose your job if you went to jail." He goes, "Then you would have assaulted someone." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "These are all good points." So I'm pretty proud of myself the way I handled it. So yeah, it was a pretty good meeting. And I'll be honest, I never thought I would say this in a million years, but Joey, from what I saw in front of me, seems like a pretty decent, good guy. I just wish he wouldn't have trolled me all those years, you know. But I'm glad it ended on a very positive note. And so I looked at him and said, "Well, hey man, like, what do you want to do now?" I said, "Do you want to..." I said, I said, I would say this in a million years. I said, "Do you want to keep in touch? Do you want to..." I said, "How do we do this?" And he said, "Well," he said, "you can unblock me on YouTube and all the social medias." He goes, I follow you on everything." And I said, "Well, why don't we start..." I said, "Why don't we start slow?" I said, "Why don't we like..." I said, "Whenever I get some time," I said, "or whenever I feel like," I said, "I'll unblock you on Instagram." And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "If you want to start slow." I said, "Yeah." So let's start on Instagram, and then I said, "We'll see how everything goes." So definitely made a lot of progress. So, but I appreciate Visions and Walter giving me really good advice. So yeah, I'm sorry if the internet. I hope the internet is not crapping out. I can hear. I don't know if it's lightning outside. I can hear a storm going. So, because I know there's a lot more people in here than, like, on my where the chat is, it says there's only, you know how it says like 9 people watching, 1 person watching. I know there's more than 1 person watching right now. So I don't know what's going on with the internet, but I don't know. How's the internet? Hopefully everything's good, you guys. Let me know in the chat. But let me get back to your guys' comments, and I'll read all the comments and answer all your guys' questions. And then that's all I want to say about the Joey topic, and then we'll move on. So the last thing I read was when Vision said, "I thought it was fart residue." It definitely wasn't. Couple of turds. Red Robin says, "Hi, what's up, Red Robin?" Red Robin says, "Howdy, Larry." Vision says, "What the fuck, Larry?" Vision says, "Sounds like a very nice meeting." It was. Surprisingly, it was a very nice, chill meeting. It definitely went all right. It definitely it was interesting because I didn't think he would show up. And I'll be honest, I'm not making fun of him. It was kind of weird. I said, I even got Walter's opinion. I said, hey, Walter, I said, do you think it's weird that he showed up? He went, Fears, it's very weird that he showed up. And I said, okay. I said, well, I did bring it upon myself because I said, oh, I dare you. None of you guys will show up. So I guess I'll give Joey credit. He's the only one that had the balls to show up and apologize. I don't ever see Quentin doing that or Adam Pacitti or the guy in New Zealand or any of those other guys doing that because they're assholes, you know. So I doubt any of those guys will do it. Plus, there's some people that I will not forgive. Joey, yeah, he's trolled me, but I'd say the worst people that have trolled me have been Yakov, Quentin, the guy in New Zealand. And now that new guy in the chat, Crackpot, whatever his name is. So those guys have trolled me the worst ever, you know. So, but to answer your question, Visions, it was a very nice meeting. His girlfriend's name was Tatiana, and she was very nice. She was very nice. What's up, Carmine? Good fine evening, Carmine. Hello, sir. I don't think Joey was scared, Larry. Because I wasn't scared. I was not afraid of him. I've never been afraid of any of those guys ever, and I never will be. Well, I didn't tell the only people I told Larry was I told Visions and I told Walter because Walter called me and I said don't tell anybody. I said I'm just gonna surprise everybody on the stream and just tell them, you know. So, yeah. Let's see. Carmine says, sounds like a good and mature conversation. It was. It was a good conversation. That's a great way to put it. It was a good conversation and a mature conversation. What's up, Pixel? I'm sure you've been here for a while, but I'm a little bit behind on the comments, like always, so I apologize. I'm trying to get caught up. Sounds like Joey was very nice and respectful. Told you he would be cool, Fears. Well, here's the thing, Pixel. You never know about people because for a lot of people, some people have met me in real life, but whenever you watch someone on a screen, you just watch them on a screen. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm like, I don't know who Joey is, and at the time, now I care about him, but since we reconciled, but at the time I'm like, he's just some troll on the internet. I don't care about him. Like, there's no need to care about him, you know? But once you sit down and actually get to know someone, you know, your feelings and your thoughts, you know, change a little bit, you know? So, yeah. But yeah. But you are correct, Pixel. He was very respectful, and surprisingly, he was very nice. And it was very easy to have a conversation with him. He wasn't a dick at all. He was not a dick at all. He's been a dick to me in the past, but he wasn't a dick. He came into my house. He was very respectful. He said, "Oh, thanks for the drink," and his girlfriend was very sweet, very nice, and she was very attractive. And so I'm just giving credit where credit is due, Joey. But his girlfriend was very nice, very sweet, very attractive. She was very thoughtful. They both were. Carmine says, "I think I like Joey more after this meet and greet." Me too. Again, it's going to take some time to get over what he did to me, but I think it's a good stepping stone, a step in the right direction, you know, if that makes sense. That's what I told you, Fears. That's progress on both sides. Oh, I agree. We definitely made some progress today. Vision said it was probably that weirdo. Well, I don't know if it was that weirdo on TikTok. I mean, here's the thing, Visions. I wouldn't put it past him. You know, if it was that weirdo on TikTok, I have no idea, but I don't want to spread any rumors. That's pretty hilarious. Was Joey wearing his Spider-Man costume? No, he wasn't, but I asked him. I said, hey, do you still have that that Spider-Man costume? And he said, oh yeah. He goes, I bought on a website called, well, actually, I don't know if he wants me to say the website, but he said I bought it on a certain website. And I was like, dude, I said, that Spider-Man costume's like really badass. He goes, yeah, he goes, I like it. And I was like, that's cool, man. So Walter said that would have been amazing, Visions, if he was wearing. Yeah, that would have been, I'll be honest, Walter, that would have been a little weird if he actually came in the Spider-Man costume, but anyway. What's up, Dr. Jenkins? He says, hi, positive vibes, Fears. That's right. Richie is going to go put on a private singlet now for the truckers. Well, I don't know about all that, but yeah. Larry, you're hilarious. Did his girlfriend hit on me? Well, obviously not. Hang in there, John. Things will get better. Well, spiritual, I appreciate you saying that. I just hope things get better all in general. I mean, I hope the trolling online gets a little bit better. Maybe this act of kindness will inspire all the other trolls to be more mature, you know? Because I'm just a normal guy. I really wish that Fears Blogs guy would stop what he was doing, because he's stealing my content and making all sorts of weird videos. Somebody sent me a link. He made a John Fears theme song, and it was weird, but it was kind of funny, and I was just like, it's like a rock and roll song, and I was like, it's actually kind of funny, but it's kind of creeping me out, because he says some weird shit in the dialogue, and then he added Matt Man and Lantern in it. So some of it was weird, some of it was entertaining, and I'm like, this is fucking weird, you know? So, I don't know, maybe, hopefully, since Joey apologized, hopefully it'll inspire all the other trolls to either cut me some slack or stop it in general, or maybe some of those guys will apologize. So, yeah. Because I've never gotten an apology from the idiot in New Zealand. I got a bullshit apology from him, but not a proper apology, you know. I guarantee you, Quentin will probably never apologize, because never once has he said anything nice. He's never said anything. He's always been negative, Quentin, from day one. And he's a very immature person, so I don't ever see him apologizing. So yeah, but I appreciate you saying that, Spiritual. I did, Pixel. Pixel said, did you show him the Kano knife? I showed him the MacGyver knife. I showed him the Kano knife. I showed him all the movie props, and he kind of bent down on one knee and kind of checked out the movie props. So, yeah, I think he liked all my. I think he liked my nerd collection. So yeah. Well, that was nice of him, and I'm glad you guys didn't duke it out. But I would have liked to have seen it. Well, I'm glad the way it ended, the way it did, Visions, because it's the more mature way to handle things. And as you live your life, you should try to improve your attitude, your life, the way you live. I guess the goal of every person's life is to make the best version of yourself. Or at least that's my goal, to always keep improving myself, make the best version of John Fears I possibly can, you know? So, but yeah. Anyway. Spiritual says, forget about them, John. Don't need to explain yourself. You're not the problem here. I know I've never been the problem, but I'm glad at least one of them had the balls to show up and apologize, because really a lot of them have put me through pure hell for no reason. You know? But I'm glad I handled it the way I did. You know? It definitely ended on a very positive note. Now, I haven't unblocked him yet on Instagram, but I will. Probably I'll do it this weekend at some point. But yeah. Anyway. I agree, Visions. We'll put out a special menu, and Richie, oh Lord. Bottomless words on the house. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Richie and all this other stuff, but yeah. Anyway. I think there's something wrong with the stream. I mean, because I haven't seen anyone comment in a while. So yeah. Richie says YouTube is down. Is it really down? Hang on. Well, because I'm still streaming. Hang on. Let me make sure that my live... I hope... Because this is a very important live stream, and I want to make sure that it's still live. Let me see here. I hope it's still going on. Anyone comment in a while. So yeah. Richie says YouTube is down. Is it really? Okay, down? Good. It's still live. It's still live. I'm still streaming. Okay, good. Hang on. Let me make sure that my live. All right, good. Because I don't know. Maybe Richie. I think what you meant by that is like, I guess it hasn't updated because there's a lot of people watching me right now. But when you look down, like, at the board, you know, where it says, like, 2 people are watching, 10 people are watching, it just says 1 people are watching, and there's a lot of people in the chat. So I know it's more than 1 person, you know, watching me. So it could be, well, I'm glad it's happening around where you live, Richie, because I thought, oh, maybe it's just my area, because there's a storm. It's pouring out there right now. And anytime there's a storm, it, like, fucks with the internet. So I thought, oh, well, maybe it's because of that. I'm like, but I don't honestly know what's going on. But, all right, I just wanted to make sure, because I was like, this is an important stream, and I don't want it to cut it off, because I wanted to get all my thoughts. Because if it would have, then I would have had to make another stream tomorrow and say, well, let me explain all the Joey stuff again, because something happened to the stream, and blah, 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 you know? All right, so I'm glad it's still live. Good. Because I was like, this has been a good live so far. And I'm in a really good mood, you know? And I love chilling out with the fans and all that. So, oh, that's why. Because I've had it on top chat the entire time. I didn't have it on live chat. That's why. Hilarious. But yeah, let's see here. Let me catch up. Yeah, because it's still live, because you guys are still commenting. Let's see. Let me catch up. At one point, there was 16 watching, but yeah, it's showing 1 for me as well. That's not correct. Yeah, it's not correct. Absolutely not. Yeah. Because anyway, Richie, you told Fears to take care like 15 minutes ago. You know what, Red Robin? Just leave Richie alone. Like, Richie's not a bad guy. I'll be honest, Richie. I'm not making fun of you. I don't really know what's going on with, you know, the singlet thing, you know. There's only been one time where I've ever worn a singlet in my whole life, and that's when I was on the wrestling team. Richie, I have to know. It's been driving me nuts. Did you wrestle in high school and you just kept your singlet? Because at my high school, they wouldn't let me keep the singlet. I just wore the singlet when I wrestled, but it's fine if you like singlets, but what's the whole basis of the singlet? I'm not making fun of you. I actually genuinely want to know. I'm just, because you've sparked my interest. So yeah, I guess it's, Pixel, I guess it's getting better now, because now it went from 1 to now 3's watching. But I know there's more than 3 people watching. So there we go. See, now it's back. Now it says 6 people watching. Okay, so that makes more sense. Okay, there we go. I think YouTube corrected the error. Does it say six people watching for you? Let me know. Because I was wondering, I'm like, what the hell is going on? You know? Is there an open invitation to all trolls to come and mend the wounds? I wouldn't say that, Visions. You know, I really... Some people I can't forgive. Like, I'll eventually probably totally forgive Joey, but I can't see myself ever forgiving what the guy in New Zealand did. I mean, that was really fucked up. I can't really forgive Quentin because he's always been negative. He's never been nice, not once. So, and Adam he's the biggest fake and phony I've ever seen. He acts all nice and sweet in his videos, but then he's a big piece of shit in LC's Discord. Joey even asked, he goes, Fears, he goes, it's none of my business. He goes, but where has LC been? I said, I think he gave up on his Discord. I said, maybe he's just hanging out with his family. I said, he's busy. I said, he's got a full-time job. You know, he's got 3 kids. He's got the little one's like 6 or 7. Then his daughter is like in high school. I don't know what age in high school or what grade she's in. And then I believe his oldest son just graduated either high school or college, and now his oldest son is working. Plus, he's got a wife. So I said, I need to text him. I said, I haven't heard from LC in weeks. You know, I'm sure me and him are still friends, but I have not. I was trying to give him his space. I'm like, he's a family man. He's probably busy with the big move because I remember he said, hey, we eventually got a new house and now we're moving. It's probably because of that. But I told Joey Pixel, I'm thinking maybe he just gave up on his Discord because a bunch of trolls took it over and now they just do whatever the hell they want in there. And one time me and Heroes said, Fears, I've kind of lost control. I said, but it's your channel. I said, not your channel. I said, it's your Discord. I told Joey that. I said, I can give you all the advice you want, LC. But I said, in the end, I said, I can't do anything about your Discord. It's your Discord. You have to be the one to say, hey, don't do this. I'm kicking these people out. I said, you may just want to start fresh. I said, it's half and half. I said, there's a lot of really good, amazing, decent people in the Discord. I said, then on the other side of the coin, there's a lot of evil shits in there, you know? So I told Joey, and I said, Joey, I looked at LC one day and said, so I can give you all the advice that you want. And I said, this is what I would do if it was my Discord. But I said, guess what? It's not my Discord. This is either you're going to take my advice. So I think he's given up on his Discord. I really don't know. Whenever I get a hold of him, I'll ask and I'll give you guys more information. But I really don't know. So yeah, that's where we are with that. There are a lot of weirdos on TikTok and Kick. Well, I don't even know what Kick is. So Red Robin, since I'm old and boring, I can't believe I'm going to be 41 this year. Is Kick another app like TikTok? You're going to have to explain what Kick is. Obviously, I know what TikTok is. I love TikTok. I hope, because I've got so many fans on TikTok, and I've never had that many fans on any platform. Like on Instagram, I just have like 1,095, which is still a good amount, but almost 9,000 followers on one social media. I'm like, holy crap. I don't want to lose all these fans because some of my TikTok fans have been like, oh shit, you do YouTube, Fears? Well, now I got to check out your content. Let me mosey on over to YouTube and let me have a look. And I'm like, sweet, you're more than welcome. Check it out. You know, like, I welcome you. Come on by. You know, I'm like, check out. Or I said, or it's happened the reverse way too, Pixel. Like, oh shit, Fears, I've followed you on YouTube for years. Damn, I didn't know you had a TikTok. Well, let me mosey on over to TikTok and check out your TikToks, you know? So, it definitely does help. But I'll be honest, if I lost my TikTok because they eventually took it down with all that court shit and we're going to ban TikTok in America for life or whatever the hell is going on, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Now, what would really devastate me is if one day they took YouTube down. I'd be like, oh shit, all that hard work down the fucking drain. I doubt they ever will on YouTube, but I really hope they don't take TikTok down. But again, if they did take TikTok down, it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know. Anyway. No, Pixel, not on the phone. The only time where Quentin has been kind of nice was a long time ago. I mean, a very long time. I couldn't tell you what year this was. After the live stream, he wrote me before I blocked him and said, send me the link. And so we had a conversation in an off-air hangout. That's the only time where Quentin was somewhat nice. I mean, he was still trolling a little bit, but that's the nicest I've ever seen him, was in that open call. Even on the phone, he was kind of a dick, Pixel. Because he called me while I was at work, and I said, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I pretty much wore him down. That was one of the greatest days of my life. I was like, to beat Quentin at his own game, I said, I said, I don't have to leave until 12 in the morning. I said, I'm just going to keep talking your ear off until you get sick of talking to me. Because he's like, well, you're going to hang up before me, Fears. I'm like, no, I'm not. I said, I'm determined to win. And that's really the only time I pulled a fast one on Quentin and won him at his own game, you know? And I'm sure it annoyed the shit out of him because he's like, oh, I called. I thought Fears would just hang up after a while. Nope, I just kept, went on for hours. I don't know how many hours, but hours. And he eventually got sick of it and clicked off the phone. So yeah. So I wouldn't say it was a positive phone call, but the Google Hangout thing that we did years ago, that was the only semi-nice conversation I've ever had with Quentin. Normally, Quentin is very negative. Normally. So yeah. Let's see here. Make sure you're on live chat. Yeah, I totally forgot to... Most of the stream so far, I accidentally forgot to put it on live chat. Now, it's back to normal. It says live chat. We got 11 people watching, so whatever little error was going on with, you know, because either... I can't remember. Either Visions or Pixel said sometimes YouTube gets glitches, so they must have fixed the glitch of whatever it was. So, yeah. Yeah, Pixel just said it. It says... You only have one live viewer, but I think it's a glitch. It is. It's definitely a glitch. But see, now Red Robin says we're back. We were at 7 people. Now we're at 11 people, but I get what you're saying. Yo, Pretend Stories, what's up? Good to see you. I'm trying to catch up as quickly as possible. Kick is a streaming platform for YouTube and Twitch. Okay, so it's another. So it's not really. It's not really a social media fab, Red Robin. It's another, like, you know how, like, StreamYards is a streaming one, OBS, so it's kind of another platform to stream on. Okay, I got you. Because right when you said Kick, I was like, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about, and I hope somebody doesn't troll me because I'm being open and honest. When you said Kick, I was like, I have no idea what he's on about. I'm like, maybe it's another version of YouTube, maybe a shitty version of YouTube. I'm like... I'll just be straight up honest and just say, hey, man, I'm old. I don't know what that is. Just give me a 10-second version of what Kick's all about, you know? So, yeah. That's funny, Larry. No, he didn't put hidden cameras in my place. No, he didn't. That's hilarious. Yo, Timmy. He says, hello to John Fears and the loving and loyal fans. What's up, Timmy? Good to see you. I hope I didn't upset Fears in the past. No, you Pretend Stories. Why would you say that? You've never been a problem. You've always been a loving and loyal fan. I like that shirt, John. Oh, thanks. $1 at Goodwill. I'd say because I live in Florida, the most clothes at Goodwill that they have consistently is you get tons of Disney shit because tourists buy it and then they're like, you know, they'll buy it just for their trip, and they're like, I don't want to take this home. They'll put it to Goodwill. People that are local, you know, I take stuff to the Goodwill all the time. I've been slowly but surely cleaning out my closet because I have a lot of clothes. Remember when I showed you guys, like, all the new stuff that I put in my closet? There's still a big pile of washed, cleaned, ironed clothes that are shirts on the floor that I've stacked up because there's nowhere else to put them in my closet. I'm running out of space, so I'm like, I gotta get rid of the old shit to put in the new shit, so because I want to get them off the floor because it's bugging the hell out of me, you know? Because I cannot stand living in filth, and because the last couple of weeks have been hard and I haven't been really caring about a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously there's not, like, dishes piled to the fucking ceiling and shit everywhere and trash. No, that's where I draw the line, but I'm like, Fears, don't say you're going to do the laundry. Just, you haven't done laundry in 2 weeks. Just fucking do it, you know? So I've done it here and there, but I haven't finished it. And I'm like, well, I don't want them to think I live in filth, because that would be just another thing that people troll me. You guys know, usually my apartment is, you could drop a fucking pin on the ground. It's super fucking clean, because I'm not a germaphobe, but I'm germ conscious. I don't want to get sick. Joey told me that when COVID broke out, he said, I did get COVID, Fears. I said, I was lucky. I said, because I took all that shit seriously. I've never gotten COVID once. It sucked because towards the end of my dad's life, I know it wasn't my mom, me, or my brother, or my grandma. My grandma she was dying because she was almost 90, for God's sakes. She had fallen a couple of times, and she cracked a bone in her leg, and it got infected, and then, you know, old people, you know, I'm sorry, not old, the elderly, that's more respectable. When you get old, eventually the body just starts breaking down, you know? It just happens. It happens to everybody, you know? So my grandma died of like a lot of arthritis, and she was in incredible amounts of pain, and then they had her on morphine, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and then the inevitable happened, you know? But what really sped up my dad's death is someone, it must have been a nurse or somebody at the hospital taking care of my dad, must have lied and said, oh, I don't have COVID. Well, clearly somebody did, because my mom went to go visit him every day. Whenever I was in town, I came to visit him every day while I was there. My brother visited him, and they all had us do tests. And they said, you don't have COVID, you don't have COVID. Your brother doesn't have COVID, you don't have it, John. Your Aunt Donna doesn't have it, because my Aunt Donna is my dad's sister. They're like, no one in your family has it. So they said, it has to be somebody else. Obviously, the doctor taking care of my dad, he goes, well, I don't have it. So he said, it has to be one of my nurses. So my mom's like, I remember mom said, well, you have to go and check because now my husband's got it. Well, my dad already had prostate cancer. So whenever you have two things stacked on top of each other, I remember the doctor came up to me, my brother, and my mom and said, well, it's going to accelerate his prostate cancer now that he has COVID. So he said, it doesn't help his fucking cause. And I went, oh, great. Cheers for that, you know? So, yeah. But, yeah, Joey said that he had it. I was like, well, I'm blessed I've never had it. And I'm sure he took it serious, too, and I'm sure my dad didn't have it at all until somebody gave it to him, and I was like, life is very precious. You got to take care of yourself, you know? So, especially, I remember, Pixel, you were the first one to tell me about the COVID. I thought you were joking because when it first came out, it was called the coronavirus, and you guys know I love drinking Coronas. So, Pixel, don't think this the wrong way. I thought you were just bullshitting me. I'm like, oh, whatever, Pixel. That's a bunch of bullshit. Ooh, yeah, Corona. I like to drink Corona. Yeah, you're full of shit. And then all of a sudden, when it came on the news, I was like, oh, shit. I owe Pixel an apology. He wasn't full of shit. This is a serious fucking thing. I thought he was kidding, and I was like, I got to take this serious now. And I got the shots right away, and all the little boosters and all the crap. They say, oh, you got to get this shot first and then this shot. So I was like, Fears, you got to take this serious, man, because this is a real fucking thing, you know? So, yeah. Timmy says, shout out to Pretend Stories, Red Robin, Larry, Visions, Pixel. Hell yeah, Timmy. Right on. So, yeah. John Fears, you look strong today, like you could wrestle someone. Well, I'm sure you've heard this, what happened, Timmy. No, I didn't wrestle anyone. No, I didn't wrestle Joey. At first, I wanted to. I'm telling you, when I opened that door a second time, I flashed through my mind, what if I just punch him? But I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad it ended on a good note. I really thought about it, though. But Joey said, even if he would have punched me, Fears, I wouldn't have called the cops. And I was like, oh, well, that's good. But I'm glad I did, because violence doesn't solve anything. And Walter even said, he said, Fears, he goes, you're a good guy. He goes, but you have to work on, like, not wishing people, like, to die. And I said, I do. I said, I regret it every single time. And he said, well, you've said that before. I said, I have. I said, every time I say it, I regret it. And Walter even said this. He goes, and Visions, you kind of said it, but not in the way that Walter did. But you've told me to watch that. But Walter, I think Walter went off to work because before the stream, he said, hey, Fears, I can hang out for a little bit, but eventually I got to take off to work. And I said, don't let me keep you, man. I said, don't get in trouble at work. I said, I don't want to get you fired. I said, hang out as long as you can. I said, and then when you get home from work, watch the rest of the stream. But Walter said something, and it stuck with me. He said, Fears, I know you're a good dude. Everybody knows you're a good dude. He goes, you're not some, like, crazy guy like Matt Man and all these other fucking idiots. He goes, yeah, he goes, you've got some flaws, and you're a little quirky here and there. He goes, but for the most part, you're a good dude. He goes, but Fears, let me tell you something. He goes, everyone's got their own little quirks and their own little things that the shit that they're dealing with. He said, no one's perfect. He goes, but man, he goes, every time you say, oh, I want to kill someone, I hope they fucking die, and he goes, and all that crap, he goes, you make yourself look really bad. I mean, you said that. And I called him on Discord, Pixel, and Visions, and everybody else. And I said, Walter, I said, you're preaching to the choir. I said, do you know the reason why I say that? And he goes, I know fears. He goes, they get you really agitated, and then one thing leads to another. And he goes, you get really mad, and then you say things you don't mean. And I said, yeah. I said, I'll give you an example. I hate Quentin to death, you know, but do I want him to die? No, because wishing death on someone. Now that's cringe. That I will admit, that is cringe to be like, I hope you fucking die. You know, like, I hope somebody kills you. Da 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 da. All that, like, that's not necessary. And I hate when I go there because I told Walter, I said, normally when I get real mad, it usually takes me 10 to 15 minutes to calm down. Once I am calm, then I'm like, yeah, shit, I really regret saying that. And he's like, yeah, Fears. He goes, you can hate them all you want. He goes, but you shouldn't say, hey, I wish death upon you. And I said, yeah. I said, I totally agree. So I definitely have been trying to work on myself. And he goes, that's really the only thing I don't like about you, Fears. And Walter was real. He goes, everything else, Fears. He goes, I think you're a good guy. He goes, I genuinely believe you'll find a nice lady and be a good dad someday and have kids and everything will click into place whenever, you know, it's time to click everything into place. And I said, he goes, I love your streams, love your vlogs. He goes, you make a shitload of content. He goes, you definitely deserve more subs. And he goes, hell, he goes, you make more content than really famous YouTubers. I said, well, you know why? And he goes, well, what do you mean? I said, because I said they've already made it. So they have to make less content. They'll make one video and they're good for like half the fucking year. Kind of like Casey Neistat. I'll be honest, I haven't lost respect for him, but ever since he became Super Mondo famous, he only makes like one video a month. And I'm like, dude, make more content. I love your content. I enjoy your content. You're my favorite YouTuber. Make more content. But I get it. He's a dad now. He's got, well, when he started, he had one kid. Now he's got 3 kids, a wife. She's got a job. He's got a job. He wants to be a family man. I get it. But if I was a family man, I would still make content too. I would kind of do it like Roman did. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to still hang out with my family, but I'm going to get my family involved with the content. But I'm not Casey Neistat. You know, people live their own life and they're going to do the best thing for their life. And all, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to make the right, like, this makes the most sense to me. So if he wants to make less content, I can't stop him. I wish he would make more content because his vlogs are fucking fantastic. Every single vlog that he's ever made blows my content out of the water 90 times over. So I'm not saying I don't have good content, but I'm always trying to improve my content and get better, like edit it quicker, better angles, better shots, better vlog, better content, better footage for the content, all that shit. Like, I try to improve everything, you know? But yeah. Shout out to Timmy MC, legend of YouTube. Well, listen, Pixel, he is a legend, but I want him to make some more Tommy content because I've watched all of Timmy's videos. I finally got caught up on them. The only thing I haven't got caught up on is all the old Tommy videos. Like, you guys have been here since the beginning. Like first he didn't have MCs and he did it himself. Then he had the whole couple of years, the era of the MCs. Then he said, hey, fuck the MCs. I can do it by myself. Fuck you guys fucked me over. Then he was that one video where he was spitting on people, going fucking ballistic. And I only started watching the present whenever I met him on Raz and all that stuff. So from when I met Raz first to the present, that's how much I've watched. But I missed out on a lot of old time. Someone sent me a link of him singing and using the shampoo bottle as a microphone, and he's got shampoo in his hair, and he's jamming out to the shampoo mic, and he's singing and going nuts in the shower, and I'm like, I've never seen this one until now. I watched that one like a year or two ago. I don't remember who sent me that link, but someone sent me that link, and I was like, oh, this is fucking hilarious. Speaking of Tommy, he's in town this weekend, so I'm going to try and get a Tommy hangout and do another vlog with him and another live stream. Me and Tommy will probably get drunk, so fingers crossed. He said, I'll let you know, Fears, because I really came to... His dad passed away. He said, I came to pay my respects to my dad, and I want to hang out with my real mom. And I said, Tommy, I'm not going to interrupt your family time. I said, I would never do that. I said, whenever you get done with all that, you let me know, and either I can come and hang out at your real mom's house and we can go vlogging on the week. I said the weekend is the best time to hang out because I work during the week. So I said, if you want to come over at night and we can do a stream, great. I said, but I have all of Saturday off, all of Sunday off. I said, that would be the best time to get a lot of hangout time. So hopefully this weekend. I think maybe Friday or Thursday before work, that's when I'll go to Disney. So I'll keep you guys posted. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, I agree, Pretend Stories. He says, this hat is speaking volumes. Well, it definitely is. And I'm glad I bought this because this is what Fears is all about. I got this whenever I donated to that military charity. They said the more you donate, the more free stuff you get. So I donated a bunch. I donated like $50. And she said, well, $50 will get you a hat and the military shirt. And I said, my dad was in the Army. I said, I need to pay some bills this week. So I said, if I had no bills, I would donate $100 to you guys. I did donate $50 though. So yeah. But yeah, I genuinely believe that things will get better. And Walter made a good point. He said, well, Fears, he goes, this will show, he goes, the way you acted, it'll only make things better all around. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, maybe the trolls will be like, oh, wow, Fears actually handled that very mature, and they'll cut you some slack and they'll leave you alone. Or maybe, he goes, maybe others will apologize. And I said, I doubt it, but I said, one can hope. And he goes, well, even if they don't, Fears, he goes, things will get better because the way you handle it, he goes, you showed a lot of maturity and a lot of growth. And I said, I've been trying to grow as a person all around in every single aspect of my life, So I hope what Walter said is true and things get way better, I think they will. So yeah. Let's see. This is a new day for the Fearsmen. It definitely is, I'm glad that happy-go-lucky John Fears is starting to come back because, man, I will say this year has been interesting. It's been, some of it's been fun so far, some of it's been bad. Like, I've had deaths in the family, but then I've had some joys in my life. Like, once was a troll, apologized, and now it's a decent guy, Then this year I got monetized on one channel, so that was a big win for Fears. Even though I don't make a lot of money, it's nice to make at least somewhat money. Hopefully more money will come, but you guys know me. Whenever I made my channels, I never sought out to be famous or do it for the money. In my mind, I was like, if I ever do make money off of my content, or if I ever do get famous, that would just be icing on top of the cake. My real main purpose was to make good, funny, entertaining content that people like, that people relate to, and show off my passion for making videos and making movies and my love for movies. That was my main start, and it still is my main goal, But now it's nice that the channels are slowly but surely growing, and it is nice to get a little bit reward back. I've only gotten one paycheck. It sucks that YouTube will not pay you until you hit over $100. Whenever I got the first one, they're like, just know that if you don't get another paycheck next month, it's not because you're not getting paid. You are going to get paid, but you have to hit at least 100. They said, let's say in a month you hit 1,000. Then you'll get paid 1,000 on that next month. He goes, it's all about the views, the comments, the likes, the algorithm, how long videos are, how short videos. We take all of that data and process it to calculate, all right, how much does he get? And then they said, you'll get more if people make super chats and donations. And I said, and I wrote YouTube back and I said, well, now that I'm monetized, I said, not every show I get a super chat, but I said, I've been getting more super chats. I said, here and there, I said, I tell the fans, you don't have to donate, but whenever you do donate, it's much appreciated. And I said, I never take any super chat for granted. I said, because I would be a dick if I did that. I'm like, they're donating their hard-earned money because they want to support their favorite YouTuber, or one of their favorite YouTubers, and they're throwing Fierce a bone, and they're like, hey, Fierce, keep up the good work. Here's a donation. I'm like, damn, you didn't have to do that. Awesome, I appreciate that. You're awesome, you know? And YouTube wrote me back and said, oh, yeah, we get it. They said, but that's how all that making money works. And I said, no, I said, I got you. I said, I understand. So I haven't checked how much money I've made. The last time I looked, I'm halfway. I think I've made like $50 so far. So maybe in a month or two, I'll get my second YouTube paycheck, but I'll definitely let you know whenever it happens. So we'll see. It'll happen whenever it happens. I did see that, Larry. I thought that was funny. Larry, I hope you don't mind. I downloaded that video. I guess you were taking out your trash and you opened up the trash can lid and there was 2 little squirrels in there. And I was like, holy shit, the real life Chip and Dale from Disney. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking awesome. So I downloaded the video and I'm going to put it on my TikTok and I'm going to name it My Friend Larry's Little Buddies. So that's what if you allow me to upload it on my TikTok, buddy, I'm going to name it My Friend Larry's either little animal buddies or little buddies or something like that. I'll come up with some type of name, but that's what I'm going to do. But if you don't want me to upload it, I won't. But if it's okay to upload it. I thought the video was hilarious because I was like, oh shit, 2 random squirrels in a dumpster. They're like chewing on acorns and shit. And I was like, that's pretty hilarious. I was like, that's got to go on the TikTok. So yeah. Timmy, that's hilarious because you know fully well I am on YouTube, but only in Timmy's mind am I on OnlyFans, but I am not on OnlyFans. But that was pretty funny. But well, listen, Timmy, no matter what, I always appreciate not just your support. I appreciate everyone's support. I will be back though because I've been going for almost 2 hours, and I need to reheat my coffee because this is super cold. And I hate drinking cold coffee because a few minutes ago I took a sip and I was like, oh my god, that is so cold. Plus I need to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. And then we'll get to the other 2 topics. And then I haven't watched a movie in a while, so before I end the stream, we'll go to the wall and we'll pick something out. And Fears will get back to his daily routine of reviewing movies and all that shit. So, 2 minutes. Give me 1 second. So, just fall in love with the ghost. And watch... Oh, wait, I have to take this. Hang on. Hang on. Just study the foil ball, and I'll be back. Just give me 1 second, guys. I have to. I'm done using the restroom, but I have to reheat my coffee real quick. I can't stand drinking cold coffee. It's the fucking worst. I can't stand it. It's cold. I don't know how people can put like ice in their coffee. That would drive me nuts. Like, that's not coffee then. Like, if you put ice in coffee, I don't know how someone could do that. That to me, that shit's just fucking nasty. You drink coffee because you want it warm and you want it to taste good. Oh yeah, much better, much hotter, much nicer. All right, there we go. All right, here I come. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone's got their own little taste buds and stuff, but I don't know. I can't see iced coffee tasting that good. I don't know. That's just me though. That's me. But I mean, I'm not narking on if people like iced coffee, then that's up to them. But I never would drink that shit. Anyway. Yeah, right, Vision. You're not drinking iced coffee. Get the hell out of here. No, you're not. Are you being for real? Oh shit. Well, I'm not trying to start anything. Oh shit. Oh, that's actually pretty funny. Oh man. Oh Lord, what did I get myself into? Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, buddy, the restroom, my favorite part. No, it's not my favorite part. I have to go because sometimes I sit here for hours, you know. I hate interrupting and say, hey, 2 seconds, I got to use the restroom. I'll be honest, pretend story, if that's your favorite part of my stream, that's a little weird. Yeah, I can't wait for Fears to take a Crohn's. My favorite part. Why would that be your favorite part? What, me shitting my ass off? Well, actually, I didn't take a shit this time. I just had a long pee because I had been holding it since the beginning of the stream, and I was like, I need to take a piss. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a little weird, though. Anyway. There's a lot of Chipotle also. That is! Well, it's not all Chipotle, but some of it I added to it, but it's not all Chipotle. But yeah, anyway. Clog the toilet confirmed. No, that's not true. That's not true whatsoever. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever... Let's see, have I clogged the toilet? Yeah, a few times in Missouri, but I've never clogged my toilet here in Florida. Never, not once. But yeah. I don't believe you, Vision. You don't seem like the iced coffee drinking kind of guy. Well, no, I know that's crap because you said, hey, Fears. Like, I remember when I was showing you guys my coffee station, which, by the way, Larry, Joey asked, he goes, Fears, real quick, he goes, where's the sugar packets that Larry got you? He goes, do you have any left? I said, oh, yeah. I said, here's the bag. I said, here's the ones that I've grabbed myself. But I said, Larry gave me a plastic bag, I don't know, that tall and like that wide, filled to the brim with fucking sugar packets. So I said, they're almost all gone, but I still have some left. So like I used some of the packets of sugar in my coffee today that Larry gave me. So I won't run out for quite a long time, my friends. But I know you're full of crap, Vision. Well, I know you're just joking around because whenever I showed you guys my coffee station a couple of months back, you were like, oh, shit, Beers, cool, nice coffee station. And I asked you about your coffee station, and you said, oh, yeah, I've got some packets, and I got my coffee, and I got my whole setup and stuff. But you said you'd like to drink hot coffee, but you've never once ever said, oh, yeah, I like iced coffee. And again... anyone watching this, if you like iced coffee, great, good for you. But I've tried it, and it's just like, this is gross, you know. I can't drink cold coffee. That's just me though. That's just me. Let's see. Digging the Dukes of Hazzard cover. Oh wait, well this is the prequel. I don't know. This is. I'll be honest, Larry. I'm trying to get all my DVDs into Blu-ray or 4K. I thought, oh, the prequel to the Dukes of Hazzard. This is one of the most shittiest films I've ever seen in my life. This is crap, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yeah, the TV show's amazing. I mean, I grew up a little boy watching the Dukes, you know? You know, Boss Hogg, you know, Jethro, the whole 9 yards, them jumping fucking rivers and shit and almost landing in ponds and stealing. Well, they would never steal stuff. They would steal it. Like, let's say the villains stole a whole bunch of, what's that shit where people make illegal booze? Don't tell me. I know what it's called. I'm having a brain fart. It's like where either they steal booze and it's illegal, or they make their own. Whenever you make your own booze, it's illegal to do that. It's something shine. Moonshine, right? Moonshine. So I remember watching it, Larry, and let's say like the villains on that episode be like, yeah, we just made like 100,000 bottles worth of moonshine. Well, the Dukes would never make a profit. They would be like, well, that's not going to happen in Hazard County. Like, we're going to steal all those bottles of booze, and we're going to go to the villains' hideout, steal all the booze back, tell the fucking cops, hey, these are the assholes making the moonshine, arrest them, get them out of Hazard County. So they always, even though they drove fast and broke a lot of laws, it was always cool that, hey, we're breaking the laws and driving really fast for a good reason. We're not the assholes. Those are the assholes over there with all the fucking moonshine and shit. We're just doing it to, like, get Hazard County, get all these fucking idiots out of Hazard County, and they're villains, and what they're doing is wrong. So even though they broke a bunch of laws, they did it for a good reason. So, man, growing up with the Dukes was awesome. Check your Discord. Okay, hang on. Well, I can only imagine what is the Discord going nuts, Visions, ever since I told them that me and Joey kind of, like, reconciled? I guarantee you, when I go in here, it's either going to be half good and half bad. I know Quentin's going to say some evil shit about it. I know it. Or he'll be like, no, I would never apologize for yours. You know how he fucking talks like a 10-year-old. A high-pitched voice. I never gained maturity, you know, so I just talk like this. Hilarious. I guarantee it's going to be negative. I'll be surprised if it's all positive. Let's see here. Let me click before I read Vision's message. Hang on. Let's see what it's like. I can only imagine. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. It's actually there's only one person that said something, and it was actually pretty positive. And I don't know if I agree with Adam Bacchidi, because normally he'll say something nice, but he never means it, you know? He actually said, I'm pretty impressed by Fears tonight. Seems like a new guy. Well, if you actually mean that, then I appreciate it. But Adam does the same thing like Yakov and Quentin and all those other guys do. They flip-flop. 1 minute they're your best friend, and then, I'm your best friend, Fears, and then, hey, fuck you, Fears. I hope you die, Fears. You know, you're an idiot. You know, they do all this flip-flop shit. So I don't know whether to believe Adam if he's being genuine. If he is being genuine, then that's nice. If he isn't, then, you know, it's the same shit that they usually do. So I will just say thank you for your nice words and leave it at that. All right. Let me see what Visions wrote me. Oh, he actually is. Oh, damn. Things are looking up for the Fears man, and then he took a picture, and it's me in the background, and, oh, Starbucks ice coffee. Well, there it is. Well, it's not that I didn't believe you, Visions. I mean, we're good buddies. I just never saw you as an iced coffee type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, well, he's got a coffee station, and I never said you don't buy coffee at, because even though I've got a coffee station here, the only time I ever buy coffee is when I'm out and about doing errands, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm tired. I'm not going to wait till I get back home and get a coffee. Oh, fuck it, I'll just go buy a coffee. I'm sure whenever you're out and about, Visions, you buy coffee. But I was like, Well, he's got his own coffee station, so he probably just, I assumed, I shouldn't have assumed. I assumed, I'm like, oh, he's like me, he probably just drinks warm coffee. I never saw you as an iced coffee type of guy, but I've tried it. I've tried it a couple times. Like whenever I dated Casey, she's like, "What? You don't like iced coffee?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "John, be honest." She goes, "Be honest with me." She goes, "Have you ever tried it?" And I looked at her and I was like, "All right, I'll be honest. I've never tried it." She's like, "Well, why are you saying that?" I said, "Because Casey," I said, "coffee is meant to be drank hot." And I said, "I can't see myself enjoying, hey, let me pour some coffee and then dump tons of ice cubes in it." And sometimes people, they mix water too, like coffee, water, and then the ice. And I'm like, that's not coffee to me. I'm like, coffee is like a nice warm cup of coffee, you know? And I said, and she's like, well, just give it a try, John. I said, you know what? You're right, Casey. I said, I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. I said, well, I don't want it to go to waste. I said, why don't you buy one and I'll take a couple of sips out of it. So if I don't like it, you can still enjoy it. And she goes, that's fair enough. And I said, all right, okay, great. I said, I'm going to buy my classic coffee, you know, Pike with soy, 2 sugars, 1 cream. She actually tried it, and because she had never tried that, she's like, wow. She's like, your dad knew how to make coffee, and I was like, right? I said it's good. I said it's not super complex. My dad always drank his coffee the same way: 2 sugars, 1 cream. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's fucking perfect, you know. And she's like, I like this, John. She goes, all right, it's your turn. She goes, you give it a go. And I took a couple of sips, and I was like, mm-hmm. And I took a couple more, and she could tell by my face I didn't like it. And she's like, and I was like, I'm glad I tried it. And she's like, well, what's the verdict? And I was like, I'm never going to try it ever again. And she's like, well, now I know that you don't like it. And she goes, now you know. I said, well, I knew I wasn't going to like it. And I said, because I can't see myself. But I said, you're right. I said, don't judge a book by its cover. Actually, give it a try. Give it a taste, you know. Well, there you go, Visions. You learn something every day, and I appreciate your nice words. In fact, Visions, I'm actually going to give you a thumbs up on your nice words. You wrote, "Things are looking up for the Fears Man." I'm gonna comment back right now. Yes, they are, my friend. Bung to the chung. I mean, be honest, you knew I was going to write something like that, because fucking Trent, with his bunging and chunging, that guy is fucking mental, but I love Trent. Trent's fucking great. He called me the other day fucking going nuts about, he gets on these little riffs. He's like, Fears, man, I've been binge watching, what did he say? Not Saturday Night Live. Well, he was, at one point he was binging Saturday Night Live, but, oh no, the other day he called, he goes, Fears, man, remember Saved by the Bell? I was like, yeah, why? And he goes, did you ever watch it? I'm like, yeah, I grew up with Saved by the Bell. I'm like, it's great. I love Saved by the Bell. Man, I've been on this kick, man. He goes, AC Slater. He goes, he's got this poofy fucking like hippie hair and shit. For the whole fucking week, Trent was texting me pictures of fucking AC Slater. And I was like, Trent, I love you, buddy, but you are fucking out of your mind. He's like, Fears, you cannot deny AC Slater. And I'm like, I'm not fucking denying him. I'm like, but you're going nuts over nothing. I'm like, wow, wait, great. He's got Jerry curl, you know, poofy 80s hair. I'm like, awesome. Trent, he's like, no, Fears, he's like, you got to study it. And I'm like, Trent, you are fucking gone, buddy. Trent's great, though. He gets on these little riffs and these little spins, but he was pretty fucking hilarious. All right, let me get back to the comments. All right, well, there it is. Visions showing me the evidence. There it is. Let's see. I don't know. I just never saw you as an iced coffee kind of guy. But there you go. All right. Well, before I go on to the next topic, I'm gonna catch up with the chat here. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Let's see here. Well, if Carrie is in the chat, I can't see her, because I guess I have her blocked, but anyway. Larry says, Daisy Duke gave me my first hard-on. I mean, I can see that. Daisy Duke was pretty hot. And then when Jessica Simpson played Daisy Duke, listen, I'm going to be honest. A lot of people didn't think she was good looking after she had, like, a bunch of kids, and I'm like, that's most women. When a woman has a child, it takes her a couple of weeks to get all the weight off. And normally when people are pregnant, women, you know, they don't care about their looks and their makeup because they're bearing a child, for God's sakes, you know? So for a while, she just looked okay. My opinion, Jessica Simpson has always been super hot, super attractive. I would marry her in a second. She is hot as fuck. The hottest, though, I've ever seen her in my life, though, was when she took on the role, Larry, of Daisy Duke. She lost a lot of weight. She was like prim, proper, perfect flowing body. And I was like, holy shit, she is smoking hot. I was like, damn. I was like, you're looking good, babe. So yeah, that's Larry. So if we're talking Daisy Duke, the original Daisy Duke in the 70s one, I mean, yeah, she was hot. I'll be honest, though, Jessica Simpson blows her out of the water, though. So my favorite Daisy Duke was definitely when Jessica Simpson took over the role. But, whoo, man, she was hot. I'm telling you. Anyway. Timmy says the Carrie show. Well, if she is, I can't see Carrie. So, yeah. But, Carrie, hello. If you actually are in the chat, I must have you blocked. I agree, Fears. Iced coffee is strange. It is strange, but I mean, if people enjoy it, then good for them. But it's just not my cup of tea, you know? Or my cup of coffee, you know? Pretend Story says, is Casey back? Well, I mean, she never left just because we don't go out. We're still friends. Actually, when Joey was here, my phone, I got a text, and he went, oh, who's like, I said, Joey, there you go. And I showed, and he goes, he goes, Casey texted you. I said, yeah. And he goes, you guys still talk? I said, well, you knew that. I said, just because she's married, we're still friends. I said, I don't hear from her every day, but I said, usually I hear from her like maybe once or twice a week. I said, we still keep in touch on social media. And he's like, oh, that's nice that you guys can still be friends. Now, some people in the Discord, some think it's okay, and they're like, oh, that's nice, Fears. At least you can still be your friend. Other people are like, Fears, I'm being honest. Nothing good can come of that. Just get rid of her completely. Don't be her friend. And I'm like, well, it's hard for me to do that because I genuinely care about her. And her family was nothing but nice. Her family probably still loves me. And I got the best compliment from her mom whenever I dated her. She goes, I'll be honest, John. She goes, I never liked any of her old boyfriends. She goes, you're the only guy so far that I've liked. She goes, I would be honored to be your mother-in-law one day if you ever want to marry my daughter. Which I really wanted to. And I looked at her mom when she said that, and I was like, wow. I'm like, that's the best compliment a parent has ever said. And then she went, oh, you never got compliments before from other people's parents, you know, of women that you dated? I said, oh, no. I said, I definitely did get some nice comments. But I said, that's the nice comment I've ever gotten, ever, from a parent. And she goes, well, I mean it. She goes, I wouldn't say it, you know, unless I meant it. And I was like, that's very nice, Mrs. Fallow. And I said, thank you very much for saying that. I said, I'm honored. I said, I appreciate that. So, but no, Pretend Story. We're just friends. And I think we're better off as just friends, you know. We had a lot in common, but me and Casey were very different people. And, you know, it's none of my business who she marries. And I told all the haters and I told all the people that I get along with in the community, I said, I should have never made fun. You know how I would always call her husband, oh, that guy's a fucking idiot. You know, her bubble butt boyfriend, her bubble butt husband, and I called him a half a dozen other bad names. I stopped doing that, if you guys noticed it. And I wrote her and said, I don't know if you knew I was doing that, Casey, but I was calling your husband names. I've never even met the motherfucker. And she goes, yeah, you've never met him. I said, I probably never will. And that's okay. I don't want to. I said, I'm genuinely happy for you. I said, just because our relationship didn't work out, I said, I'm trying to be more mature. I said, I would be honored to be your friend. And I said, if you're happy, I'm happy. I said, if you truly are happy, I wish you the best of luck and I'm super happy for you. And she said, well, I want you to be happy too, John. And I said, I'm working on it. And she's like, are you happy at all? And I said, yeah. I said, there's aspects of my life that I'm super happy with. Obviously, there's other aspects of my life that I'm not happy with, but I said, for the most part, I'm a pretty happy guy. And she's like, well, that's good. She goes, I'm glad that you're happy. And I said, thank you. I said, I appreciate that. So, yeah. Pretend Story says, man, I've been away for far too long. Yeah, man, you need to stay here and hang out with the fans. Pretend Stories, I'm not making fun of you. Quit obsessing over that dumb bitch that fucked you over. You, like, moved to New Jersey. You need to move back to Florida, man. Forget that fucking chick, you know, and move back to some fun in the sun, back to sunny Florida, because we got to hang out, man. I'll take you to Gators, you know, even though I don't like Gators. Eric loves going to Gators, that restaurant. I was unimpressed. I'm not a big fan of the sports bar Gators, but I know Eric loves it. You told me Pretend Stories you love it. If you ever come back, hang out with Fears, we'll go to fucking Gators. I'll just get drunk the whole time, you know. I'm just not impressed with the Gators sports bar. It's just not my thing. It's just, I was, like, you told me about it, and I guess I amped it up. Like, oh, man, this place is going to be fucking epic. I get there, and I'm like, well, this place is kind of crap. And I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't know if this is my cup of tea. And I tried to let it grow on me, and I was like, I don't think this is going to happen. But I was unimpressed, my friend. But nothing against all the people that love the Gator Sports Bar. It's just, I was unimpressed. 2 out of 5. That's the I believe that was the Google review I did. 2 out of 5. How could Fears forget the angel like here? I never forgot her. I just can't see her because I guess I've got her blocked, Vision. So I didn't know. Is she still here? Sorry to hear that, Carrie. Sorry to hear that. Well, what happened? You guys have to catch me up because I can't see Carrie. Would John Fears sing the Carrie Brick Road to lift her spirits? I guess I could, Timmy, but, I mean, if I'm being honest, there's only one person that is able to sing the Carrie show, and that's Carrie. So, Carrie, it's not that I don't like Follow the Carrie Brick Road, but I don't know if my version of it would be as good as your version. I mean, you're the one that created it, you know, so I'll do a little bit. Follow the Carrie Brick Road, follow the Carrie Brick Road, follow the Carrie Brick Road. There you are. Let's see. Oh, shit. Oh, God, Visions. Oh, shit. Carrie, Joey, and his abs were here. Oh, shit. Oh, my. Oh, that was actually really good. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Oh, fucking hell. That was great. Let's see. Did you get the redate set up? Not yet. Me and Claire were still talking. We're still I told Joey that. I said me and Claire were still talking. We're still friends. She does regret laughing, but I don't know. I don't know if we're compatible. She's very competitive, and I'm not very competitive. I just like to play the game and have fun, you know. There was other things that I didn't like about her, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm keeping her as an option, you know. You know, because it's always good to have options. But excuse me, I was burping. But I don't want to hurt her feelings. That's the last thing I want to do is hurt her feelings, Larry. But she said, I don't care what we do, John. We can just hang out as friends. I said, well, a friendly hangout would be good. I wouldn't object to that. I said that'd be cool. I said I'm down for whatever, you know. And I told her, I said there's just a few things I didn't like that happened on the first date, and she's like, no, I get it. She's like, we both were nervous. We both messed up. And I said, yeah, I messed up a few times. I said some stupid shit. And I said, I got mad whenever you pointed and laughed at me. I said, I shouldn't have got mad because I'm like, who cares? I should have just been like, yeah, who cares, you know? But I said, nobody's perfect. So, yeah. Pretend Story, you should move in with John Fears and bang chicks. Oh, Lord. No, listen, Timmy, I like living alone, you know, but the only time I want to live with someone is whenever I find Mrs. Fears. I've had roommates. I had roommates in college, and oh god, that was a fucking nightmare. Ugh. I don't mind if I have house guests, you know. Oh yeah, Larry did say, he goes, Fears, answer honestly. He goes, is Tommy like cool sometimes, or is he annoying? Larry, I'm gonna be honest. I said the only time, whenever Tommy stayed over here, I said the only time that Tommy was annoying, you guys already know the answer because I've told you, is when every morning Tommy would shoot me with that fucking Nerf gun. And I'm like, Tommy, let me tell you something. You are cruising for a bruising, man. He goes, what do you mean, Fears? I'm like, you don't fuck with people in the morning. I said, especially Mr. Fears. If I don't have an ample amount of sleep in me and coffee, Fears will destroy people's lives in the morning. I need my sleep. I need my sleepy time. I need my coffee in the morning. And then I'm fine. Then the coffee gets me going, just like everybody in the morning. It gets me woke and, up and I'm moving around and all that. But I never fought Tommy, but I told Walter, I gave Tommy a look that probably sent a cold shiver down his spine. I was like, Tommy? And he's like, oh shit, Fears, did I cross a line? I'm like, you didn't cross a line, but enough with the fucking Nerf gun. And he was like, all right, fair enough, Fears. I went, put the Nerf gun down. Don't shoot me with it anymore. I'm done. Enough's enough, You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Well, Carrie, I don't know if Carrie's actually blocked. Let's see here. Yo, Shao Kahn, what's up? Shao Kahn, did you finally get my birthday card that I sent you? It takes forever. Whenever I mail stuff to friends and family, like I sent my mom an Easter card, and she got it like 2 or 3 days after Easter was done. But she's like, well, I appreciate you sending me an Easter card, but I got here late. I said, it's not my fault, Mom. It's the stupid mail's fault. I said, I sent it way in advance. It just takes forever where I live. That's another reason why it sucks living here. The mailing system is crap sometimes. The internet is crap sometimes. And the phone lines sometimes are crap around where I live. They need to improve those 3 things. I kid you not. Well, apparently Tommy is doing a podcast right now. It's season 1 finale. Overall, super fun time. He's got 5 people watching, and I forgot his friend that he always does the live stream with, but they're live streaming right now. They are live streaming right now, my friend. So, there we are. Let's see. I don't know if I have Carrie blocked or not. Let's see. Well, Carrie, it's good to see you, even though I can't see you in the chat. But I meant overall. I guess it is here because people are reacting to you. I can't see you, but let's see. No, I don't have. Let's see. I don't have her blocked on. I guess I unblocked her on the vlog channel. Let's see. Is she blocked on the main channel? Let's see here. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I hit her from the chat. Yeah, I unblocked both of her on her actual channel. I bet you that's what happened. I bet you a while ago, whenever it was, years ago, when she got me mad, I just went, oh, fuck you, Carrie, and I just probably blocked her in the chat or whatever, because I don't have her blocked on her channels. I just hate when YouTube does that. And you know what? I just checked my sub count. I guess the lives are doing really good. Fears on the main channel, I was at 2,602, but I guess from that last convention I went to, I guess I got more subs than I thought, and I guess the live streams are going nuts and people are watching more of my content. On the main channel, I'm up to 2,700 subscribers, so only a couple hundred away from 3,000 on the main channel, and then I'm almost at 2,000 on the vlog channel. I'm at 1,498. So I'm so close to 1,500 on the vlog channel. So making progress on both. That's pretty cool. I hadn't checked out my sub count, and it had been a minute. It had been a minute, my friends. So There we are. Well, that's cool. That's definitely cool. No, I haven't got it yet. I swear on my life I sent it, Shao Kahn. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but it will get there. I promise you. I wrote down your address that you gave me, and I picked out a birthday card, and you said, no one's ever sent me a birthday card, and I'm turning 45, and I was like, sure. I'm like, I'll be a good guy and send you a birthday card. And I didn't put my real address on there. I put my P.O. Box address, and I mailed you one. So I don't know when you're going to get it, but I swear I sent it to the address that you gave me. So I promise you. So, yeah. Oh, shit. Pretend Story says, nope, it's over, Fears. It's already settled. I'm moving in. I don't mind if you come and stay at Casa de Fears, but you're definitely not living here. I don't mind if you stay here for a little bit, buddy, but you're more than welcome to come and hang out with Fears. Anyway. All right, well, that's all I want to say about the whole Joey thing, but that's basically what happened. Let's move on to the next topic. Top 10 smells that Fears likes. All right, here we go. Some of these are going to be like, oh, well, yeah, we know Fears pretty well, so that doesn't surprise me that he likes that smell. My grandma's homemade biscuits and gravy. The smell of those biscuits and gravy, that is number one, my friend. Whoo! Man, it's going to be good. But you know what? Before my grandma passed away, she gave the recipe to my mom and my aunt. So eventually, whenever I come home, I was like, Mom, I got a request. And she was like, yeah, I know. She's like, I'll make you biscuits and gravy. And I was like, sweet. So that's number one. The smell of the biscuits and gravy. Grandma Fears' homemade biscuits and gravy. Oh, I love. Me likey. Me wanty. Me taste good. They taste good. Oh, yeah. So good. Let's see. My mail here, man, is a bit slow. So is mine. I don't know what the hell. Like, because I work at FedEx, whenever I send, like, big-ass boxes, like, whenever I sent all my mom and my brother and Enzo, like, all the Christmas presents last year, that's when I use FedEx. If it's just for a letter or to pay a bill, obviously I just use the normal mailing system, but I'm telling you, the normal mailing system is fucking crap. I hate to, like, troll them, but it's crap. It really is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, it's just, they need to speed that up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's see. So that's number one, biscuits and gravy. Let's see here. Number two. I don't know how to explain this smell because I've only ever smelt it in Missouri, but around Halloween time, whenever I was a kid. Halloween time, it's okay in Florida and in Orlando, but when you live in a small town like Wentzville, everyone goes batshit crazy over Halloween in the Midwest. There's fall leaves everywhere. There's a million pumpkins, a million jack-o'-lanterns, tons of costumes, and I love the smell of like the fall season, like with all the leaves and stuff in the air and all that. So it's just like, it's probably a combination of a million smells, but whenever it just smells really nice in the fall time when you're in Missouri. So I love that smell. And plus it gets me into the I love Halloween. I love it. Oh shit, I knew that was coming, Timmy. Tons of pumpkin stems. No, let me clarify. Tons of pumpkin pie, no stems. But pumpkin pie all the way. I love me some pumpkin pie. Oh, hell yeah. I think that was what Larry, you asked me one time, hey, Fears, if you could only have, what's your favorite pie? You could only have one pie ever for the rest of your life. I either said pumpkin or blueberry. I love them both. I love blueberry pie. I mean, I love pie in general, but those are like two of my favorites. Blueberry and pumpkin, for sure, dude. For sure. But just that fall season smell, that would be number two. Let's see, number three. I'll be honest. it's not just Casey, it's like all girls. Whenever you're dating a girl and they put on nice perfume and then they give you a hug, or you're like cuddling with a lady and you get a whiff of their perfume, I love that smell. You know, because you'll be cuddling with them and then you're like, oh, wow, her hair smells really nice. She smells really nice. I wonder what perfume she's wearing. I always loved that smell. So that's number 3. Number 4, I've got 2 favorite colognes. I think the first one they don't make anymore. I still have 1 bottle. They used to make this cologne that I liked called Cool Water Cologne, and it came in this big blue bottle. I still have a little bit left, but not much. So if anyone ever found out Cool Water Cologne and they want to send it to me in fan mail, go for it, because I love that cologne. So that would be number 4. Number 5, I'm not going to say who bought it for me, but someone bought me the Spider-Man cologne, and I still have some left, and the smell of that cologne is fucking awesome. So that would be number 5. Number 6, probably... just in general, the smell of a home-cooked meal. It doesn't matter what type of home-cooked meal. My mom is a fantastic cook. So I'll give you an example. Whenever everybody has had an old-fashioned Thanksgiving dinner, in I guarantee you, every single person in the chat at one time or another has had a home-cooked, big-ass Thanksgiving day dinner. And my mom goes nuts for Thanksgiving. Like homemade cornbread, corn, mashed potatoes and gravy. She'll bake a ham, a big ass turkey, and then whenever I was a kid, I would grab the plate with all my food on it and just smell it, and that was a great smell. And then I would eat it, and her Thanksgiving dinners are legendary, my friends. So good. So that would be number 6. Number 7. Oh, man, this is hard. Probably, let's see here. I do like the smell of certain flowers. Certain flowers have a nice smell to it, so I guess flowers would be number 8. Number 9 and number 10. Let's see. Oh God, this is harder than I thought. Let's see. I'm looking over that way because I'm trying to think like what would be a good smell and a smell that I like. Certain coffee grounds have nice smell. Anytime I drink that military coffee in those military bags, but even before you ground it or put it in the coffee maker, it smells. You open up the bag and the aroma comes out of it. And I'm like, damn, that smells nice. Even before you brew it. Way before you brew it, it even smells fantastic. So that would be number 9. And that's some of the best coffee I've ever had. That military brand, that I get from Walmart. You guys have seen the bags. It always has a different military theme on it. Their coffee is fucking... But I guess... the more you pay, the better quality you get. That's with everything. I will admit, that military coffee, it's a fucking arm and a leg. It's like, usually for a bag, it's anywhere from $12 to $13, and I'm like, ugh, that's way too much. Sometimes it's worth it, though, because that fucking coffee is spectacular, my friends. So, sometimes it's worth to spend the $12, but I'm like, oh, but other weeks, you know how Fears is. Whenever I can get those deals, I'm like, you know what? Fuck that $13 coffee. Fears is going to get that classic, great value coffee for $2.50. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm telling you, though, sometimes that coffee is amazing, but other times I'm like, $17 for a fucking bag of coffee? Fuck that noise. No way. So, that, but whenever I do get it, That's not true, Tinder Immortal. There is a cool water cologne for men. There is. There is a cool water cologne for men. I didn't know they made a woman version of it, but whenever I was a kid, my brother bought me a cool water cologne, and it came in this case. It came with like cool water shampoo, cool water lotion for men, and so there is. I swear on my life, I still have the bottle because I haven't used it all. But my brother bought it for me when I was. It's an old bottle. I think he bought it for me like right before I went off to college. So I was like 21, 22. So they do make cool water for men. I promise you. I promise you. So yeah. Oh, I didn't know that Carrie's dad passed away because Tinder Immortal said, R.I.P. the Carrie Show father. I hope you receive the entire estate in his honor. May he rest. Well, Carrie, if you're still in the chat, I can't see you, but I'm sorry that your dad passed away. I know the feeling, because my dad is gone. So I will definitely pray for you and your family and your dad. So even though we didn't always get along, Carrie, I'm sending you prayers and blessings and love and support. So I'm really sorry that you're going through that right now, because I've had to go through that. So I completely understand where you're coming from. So yeah. Let's see, number 10. Probably the smell of mustard. I do love mustard. Mustard has a good smell to it, too. What's the coffee brand I will get? I don't know, Carmine. It depends on what type of coffee you like, you know. I definitely am sending positive vibes. Well, I'm sending more than positive vibes to Carrie because I'm sure she's real emotional right now because whenever my dad, I'm still dealing with it. I'm just handling it better because it's been some time since my dad passed away. But when it initially happens, you're devastated. You've got so many emotions running through your body. It's crazy, you know. So I'm sure I understand what Carrie's going through. So I'm sending more than positive vibes. I'm sending positive vibes and loves and prayers and blessings and all that. So yeah, I really am, because I understand, because I've had to go through it. What's the coffee brand I will get that? Oh, it's oh, hang on, it's over here. Let me show you. Well, it's Carmine. It's every coffee in that military has a different name. But the brand is the same. So I forgot the brand. It's over there, though. Like, the one that I got recently, it's called Sasquatch Military Coffee. But that's the name of the actual coffee. But the brand has the same name. But let me show you the bag. It's called, it's right here. The name of the company is called Black Rifle Coffee Company. Black Rifle Coffee Company is some of the best coffee I've ever had in my entire life. This one is Sasquatch. And it's dark roast American coffee ground Black Rifle Coffee Sasquatch mix. So, but this shit, Black Rifle Coffee Company, I'm telling you, Carmine, try it. And I'm not just saying that to Carmine. Visions, you have got to try that coffee. Because I know you like coffee like me. I'm telling you, you have got to try it. And that's everybody. Do yourself a favor. Trust Fears. If I know anything, I know my coffees. But again, Fears also likes to get those deals, so check it out. I great value it up. So this is almost done. This has probably got one more cup of coffee in it, so whenever I get paid on Friday, I'll probably buy myself another version of Black Rifle coffee. And then I accidentally, I'm not going to let this go to waste. I love Folgers coffee. I thought this was just normal Folgers coffee. I accidentally made a mistake. This one's instant coffee, look. So even though I've never tried instant coffee, I'm sure instant coffee is not going to be as good as brewing coffee, but I was like, well, shit, Fears, you accidentally bought it. You thought it was normal coffee, so Just fucking use it and then never buy that shit ever again, you know, so. No, I'm telling you, try the Black Rifle coffee. It's fucking amazing, dude. It's good and it's strong. Be prepared, Carmine. That shit is strong. It's good, but it is strong. Whenever Fears is getting a little tired, you know, before I go into work or whenever I'm editing, I'm like, all right, I'll make a little cup of coffee, take a little sip. I'm like, whoa, shit. So Randall wants to put that in Fears Man. He's like, Fears, what if Fears Man, like, you know how, like, Superman's got his kryptonite? And I was like, oh, I know. I'm like, Randall, I fucking know where you're going with this. And he was like, well, what, Fears? And I said, we need to do an episode where Fears Man finds out that milk products in general, milk, yogurt, cheese, ice cream, everything, whenever he gets near it, especially if he digests it. But I said, Randall, it needs to be even worse than that because he's a superhero. I said, we need to do an episode maybe like Fears Man, is out with Randall Brownstein and they're hanging out and he's like, hey man, I need to go grocery shopping. He goes in and me and Randall were just spitting ideas. So I don't know if we're going to do this idea, but this was off the top of my head. I said, Randall, I don't care how we display Fears Man finding out that his kryptonite is lactose intolerant products, or like lactose products. And Randall was like, what about like if he's shopping or something and he gets too close to the dairy cooler and then his body like starts like glowing yellow and like he's like throwing up and he gets sick and shit. And I said that could work, but I said we got to come up with some type of way. And then he's like, well, Fears, if that happened, then we got to have him in the doctor's office, and the doctor confirms, oh, yes, we did some tests. You have Crohn's. And then I said, well, Randall, that's what happens like whenever he gets, whenever he drinks milk products, like cheese, milk, yogurt, ice cream, like his body will start glowing, and he feels like he's going to die, kind of like kryptonite. And then Randall's like, well, what happens... He goes, what happens when Superman gets away? I said, he gets his powers back. I said, when he's close to kryptonite, he gets weak and shit. And, oh, God, I'm about to die. As soon as he gets away from kryptonite, his powers come back. But I was like, Randall, since Fears Man is he's like Superman, but he's like an ultra parody of Superman and all superheroes mushed together. I said, what if he, like, drinks a coffee and, like, he gets a double dose of energy, and as soon as he drinks a cup of coffee, he gets all of his powers back. He's not weak anymore. And Randall's like, I like that, Fears. So we may do something like that. So yeah. But yeah, anyway. But we were spitballing. We were spitballing ideas. So we'll come up with something. But at this point, I just want Randall to finish Fears Man 5 so we can get on to more adventures. It's just taking forever. So yeah. I'm gonna buy some and give some review. Well, I'll tell you this, Carmine. If you do that, each one has a different taste. I've almost drank every single one of Black Rifle coffee, but I haven't got them all yet. And I haven't done a coffee review in a while, but they all have... Excuse me. I almost burped. Excuse me. They all have their different tastes, but... They do have a classic one. I think the first one they ever made I think it's called Black Rifle Coffee, the Classic. I think that's their very first one they ever made. I could be wrong, but I started with the classic one, and then I tried all their different variations of all the other coffees. But I think there's only been one that I haven't liked. Usually when I love that coffee. That's my favorite brand of coffee so far that I've ever had. Probably next one would be Folgers. I love Folgers coffee too. Anyway, let's see here. Oh, man. I'm a little tired. Let's see. I believe him, gang. I'm telling you, Visions, you got to try it. Visions, have you ever tried that Black Rifle coffee? I'm just curious. Have you ever had that kind? I'm just curious. But anyway. Maybe his special move is on all four and blasting Crohn's all over his villains. Oh, well, yeah, I told Randall, I said we definitely have to have one scene where, like, Fears Man can't make it to a toilet. And I said, well, since he's got powers, I said, because whenever I was a kid, I made Fears Man disgusting. I mean, you guys should see some of the little doodles. Like, there's one where Eric dared me to draw Fierce Man's, like, superhero tights, like, down to his ankles, and he's bent over, and shit comes flying out of his ass, and it hits his stepdad, Keith, in the face, and I drew a little picture of, like, half of his face still there, and the shit was so toxic that it burnt and melted Keith's face off. Eric was fucking losing his mind. I think I've shown you guys some of the first drawings of Fierce Man in a vlog a long time ago, but we just keep adding things, Carmine, to Fierce Man. So as the character develops, we'll just keep adding little snippets and little ideas here and there, but yeah. It's definitely funny. Let's see. Fierce, do you drink Mountain Dew? Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't drink it all the time. Actually, I've been trying not to drink a lot of soda. The only time I drink soda is when I'm out and about, you know, on the go. I try not to drink soda here. Because soda has a lot of calories in it. And I've been really good at, like, the fattest I've ever been is 240. And right now, I'm right around 189, 188. I'm really trying to get down to 167, 170, because then my belly will be gone and I'll be back, you know, to normal. But I really have been trying. You have to show us those doodles. I think I have before. I think they're in a box somewhere, Carmine, back in Missouri. I kept all those doodles because they are hysterical. And you know what? I did those doodles. Well, no, I'm sorry. I almost said a lie because I kind of had a brain fart. Some of the doodles are when I very first created him in like 5th or 6th grade in art class. And then I didn't do another doodle of him for a very long time. Then I did like 4 or 5 doodles of him in high school when I was trying to make Eric and Trent and Tommy laugh. And then I did some in college. But I haven't... After college, there wasn't another doodle until when Randall made that first teaser trailer where it's like, Fierce Man, a hero from a dying planet that comes to Earth to save the world. He's here to save the world, or at least try to, you know? So for a while, there wasn't a doodle of him in quite a long time, my friends, you know? So I'd say total out of my entire life, I've only done maybe 10 to 15 little doodles of Fierce Man. But I still have the very first original doodle of Fierce Man that got me an A when I made him up. It was somewhere, I made him, I don't really remember. It wasn't kindergarten. It was somewhere in grade school. I think I was 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and I made him so hilarious and so disgusting that the teacher said, you have to go sit out in the hall. And I was just laughing my ass off. All my friends were like, Fierce, that's so mature. That's fucking hilarious. And I had like snot hanging out of his nose and shit. And I guess I got an A, but I remember the teacher came out and was like, Mr. Fierce, we need to have a serious talk. And she looked genuinely concerned. And I didn't care because I was like, well, that's hilarious. I'm like, I kind of creeped her out. And all my friends thought that little drawing was fucking hilarious. Oh, it was funny. Good times. It was funny. Let's see. Fierce, do you remember Melly from... No, I don't remember her. I have no idea, Richie. It's hard to keep up with everybody coming and going and people staying in the community and people leaving the community and all that crap. So, yeah. But, yeah. Visions, did you ever try that coffee? Did you ever try because you never answered me. Did you ever try the Black Rifle coffee? I'm telling you guys, it's good. You guys need to try it. It's really good. You guys definitely need to try it. So... Well, I think that'll about sum it up. I think I'm going to save Sean's topic for tomorrow, my friends, because it's 11:36 and I still haven't had any dinner. And so I need to get moseying and get a nap in before work and get some dinner in me before I head off to work. So let's go to the wall, shall we? But before I go, Visions, tell me if you've ever had that Black Rifle coffee. Or message it to me on the Discord, because I'm curious. It's none of my business, but I'm just curious if you ever tried that coffee. Let's go to the wall and pick a movie out so I can watch tonight. All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep watching some Star Trek. So I'm going to watch a little bit more of Star Trek. But I'm in the mood for a comedy. Let's watch Life. Let's watch Life. And so I'm going to watch this and then a couple more episodes of Star Trek. I'm going to try to maybe finish half the first season tonight of Star Trek. I don't know. We'll see. I'm on episode 2 going into episode 3. So a good start, my friends. But let's do this tonight. Anyway. So there's that. There's that. Good stream, Fears. It was. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that it was. It was a fun stream. I'm glad everybody had a good time. It was awesome. Definitely a good time. And I'm glad the whole war between me and Joey is over, you know? I really am. One less troll to deal with, you know? Because now I don't consider Joey a troll because he apologized. So I still got a bunch of other idiots to deal with, but one less one to deal with. But I handled it very well, and so did he. I was amazed how mature he was, if I'm being completely honest. So, but like I told him, I said, it's going to take me a while to fully apologize. I accepted his apology. I said it's going to take me a while to fully forgive him because he's been trolling me for years on end. But he said, I told him, I don't mind if you joke here and there, but I got his solemn promise. He said, Fears, I'm a man of my word. He goes, I will never make fun of your grandma, your dad, your mom, your brother, Enzo, any one of your families. And I said, all right, I'm going to hold you to it. I appreciate that. So that's nice. I doubt all the other trolls will be as generous as Joey was, but we'll see. Anyway, so I'm going to watch this tonight. I've seen it before, but I've never seen it on Blu-ray, and there's a crap load of bonus features that I've never seen, so can't wait to watch this. So there it is, my friends. Anyway, I am taking off. A new day, a new Fears, a new chapter. I know, right? It is. Again, I'll say it again, Carmine. I've said it a million times. I always want to try and get along with everybody. But again, those trolls make it very impossible sometimes. I doubt, I'm not trying to troll him. I sincerely doubt I will ever get along with Quentin. Because he's only been somewhat nice, sparingly. And I mean that 100%. I've only seen him be not even nice, somewhat nice, here and there. Normally, he's a fucking asshole. And we all know that. I will admit, I haven't heard from the idiot in New Zealand in quite a long time, but I can never forgive him because he called my mom and dad and started a whole bunch of shit. So I'll probably never forgive him. Adam Bachidi has done tons of crazy shit. And so I'll probably never forgive him. And Yakov always squanders the opportunities whenever. I'll give him another chance, and then I'll give him another chance, and then another chance. And eventually I'm like, well, Fears, you're being an idiot. You've given him like 19 chances. And every time he just fucks you over. So I'm like, I have to make a decision. I'm not going to be made a fool of each and every time. I can't give him another chance anymore because he's squandered all of his chances. But like Walter was like, are you going to give Joey another chance? And I said, yeah, because he was very mature about it, and he regrets making fun of my parents and my grandmother, and he said, hey, like straight up, I'm being honest, I am sorry, I crossed the line. And I said, well, okay. I said, I'll give you another chance. But if he squanders that chance, then I'll probably never trust Joey ever again, you know? But I feel like he's matured over the years. I don't think he will squander that chance. Because it was his idea, like, yeah, man, you know, follow me on Instagram. Let's see how it goes, you know. And I was like, all right. I said I will. So I haven't unblocked him yet, but I will. Probably this weekend. Maybe on Sunday I'll probably unblock him on Instagram. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And then if I feel more comfortable, I used to have Joey on my Twitter and my Facebook. So if we ever get there, like me and Jason are doing well, but I still haven't unblocked Jason, because for a while, I told Joey, I said, for a while, me and Jason were the best of friends, and then I said some horrible things, he said some horrible things, and then for a while, me and Jason lost touch, and I was really upset with Jason. But now, it seems like me and Jason are getting back on track. So, eventually, I'm going to add Jason back on Facebook and Instagram and all that, because Jason had me followed on everything. And Jason said kind of the same thing. He was like, Fears, add me back whenever you want to. And I said, I will. So, yeah. It was Carmine. It was a very nice meeting. I liked how everything went down. I really do. So, I'm hoping more good things to come later on in the year, because, man, I'm sick and tired of all this horrible shit happening to Fears. I need a break. I want good stuff. Good stuff only. All right, I'm taking off. But what a good stream. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to FearsMan26, the main channel. Fears Vlogs is channel number 2. Follow my buddy Randall, Cameo Man 2021, and the Mayor of Magic. Follow my buddy Larry Tate, that crazy Indiana motherfucker, Larry Tate, at Larry Tate on YouTube. Follow the Sega Camp Gamer and Werecamp on Twitch. He will be back in, did he say August or September? I can't remember. I think September he said he'll be back. But follow him on Twitch at the Sega Camp Gamer 22. Follow the Carrie Brick Road. Follow the Carrie Brick Road. That's right. Follow Carrie at the Carrie Show. And last but not least, give Fears a sub on the old TikTokage. I try to make at least 1 or 2 TikToks a day. I'll probably make one before I go into work tonight. Vision says good stream. Well, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody's positive vibes. Later, Fears. Take care, Fears. I will see you guys later. All right. This is Fears signing off. Peace. Deuces. And I'll see you guys later.